Welcome, Sketchbook Heroes. We've got perspective, making things look close, far away on a flat surface. That's very simple, but hard. So notice that I said it's simple, but it's very hard. So we're going to start here. Let's start here. So this is 1 point perspective, and let me show you how it works. It's very simple, but it's very hard. So we actually even break it down because it can go into 2 point perspective, 3 point, and all these other things. But it's really all about angles. We talk about wrap to draw as our model, as our method of drawing, which is we're looking at ratios, which is the height compared to the width. And then is it square? Is it taller or is it wider? That's ratios when you're looking at ratios. If is it square, how many squares are in it? That's ratios. And then we have angles. So wrap, angles, and then proportions, and then placement. And that's actually the hardest thing to do, is getting it step by step. So let's do this. Let's just talk about this. So first thing is our horizon line. Your horizon line is also your eye level. Let's pick a different color than that purple. It's kind of bugging me. Let's go with dark blue. I think that would look better. All right, so the first thing we have is our horizon line. The horizon line is special because it's not just the horizon line where the earth meets the sky. Oops. It is also, it also disappears. Oh, okay, here it goes. That maybe that'll work. Am I moving it down? Trying to get it down. Let's see where that is. It disappears on me for some reason. Ah, there it is. All right. Okay, it's also your eye level. So wherever your eye level is, you kind of have to really be conscious of that horizon line. The horizon line is also your eye level. So you kind of have to look out, especially when you go to the ocean or the beach. You can see that where the water is and then where the sky is, and that's that horizon line. And you kind of have to be aware of it because sometimes you're looking below it, sometimes you're looking above it. But this is simple 1 point perspective. You have 1 point and you have a vanishing point. Basically, this is the rule. You have to understand the rules. For 1 point perspective, your lines, the most important one is the lines need to be going to the vanishing point. The ones that are going, everything that goes back in space, the lines need to go to the vanishing point. The vanishing point is going to be on your horizon line or your eye level, this here. And it's the VP, the vanishing point. You can see all these lines here go to this vanishing point. I wish Pearl was here because she was struggling with this as well. And I don't think they have, whoever did this example, these are not my examples. I don't know if it's because it's really small. I don't know if they should go to that vanishing point. Well, I will do this. It goes to the vanishing point. Really simply right there. And then, so you have lines that are going to your vanishing point. That's one set of lines. And then you have lines that are vertical, straight up and down. And then you have lines that are horizontal, right? You have these lines that are vertical and then lines that are horizontal. The lines that are horizontal, there should be some in here. You can see these lines going horizontal. This is not a proper perspective, but it's a good way to start. There's some things you can see how basically the proportions and ratios are off. If you can imagine yourself driving down the street, you can't. You can't see how big are people here. How big are, that's a whole other thing. You're gonna have to start putting that mental shift and seeing how things kind of fit in there. But we'll do this really quickly, and then we'll jump to the next one. So here we go. Let's make sure we have a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, you can use a straight edge. Here we go. Let's oh, and I have a bunch of rulers outside. Here, let me see. Straight edge. You can always get a sheet of paper, another sheet of paper, fold it in half. And I do have a yard. Where's my rulers at? I should have prepared. Anyways, you can see here, I have a paper and I fold it in half. Let's flip that around. We start off with our horizon line. Start off really lightly. There we go, right in there. There's our horizon line. And then a vanishing point right in the middle. And then we have our street. Okay, so we have the street coming down. So I'll go ahead and slow down a little bit. I'm already going fast. I'll zoom in a little bit. So a horizon line right down the middle. A lot of times I bring that up like 2/3 using the rule of thirds when you're going into design and not just drawing, but really thinking about where things go. I usually bring that up to the 2/3 level, not really in the center. But those are all rules that can be made to be broken if you know why, or if you have your reasons. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with this upside down V. This is just the street, and it can go pretty wide. It can go pretty wide. The wider it goes, the more you actually are in the street. We'll start off with that V. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with the right side. Yeah, I usually start off with the left. Let's go with the left. Okay, we're going to go with the left side. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of thickness to that sidewalk. So I'm going to bring that up. This is our street already. I'm going to bring this up and bring this up as our sidewalk. Now, if we went wider, it would look more like we are actually in the sidewalk. As this gets closer, actually, we're actually looking like we're looking down on this scene. We're looking down on the scene, and I'm already kind of in trouble here a little bit. Let's see. Why don't we just go out more? Because this is like really thin. The thickness of this sidewalk is really thin. And usually you don't have a straight, there we go, a straight street that's this long. All right, here we go. That's it. And it looks like I have a lot of lines. It's because I do. There's a lot of mistakes in there, but that's okay. All right. Nobody likes to lose. That's what I was thinking the other day or a while ago. Nobody likes to lose, but you have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. All right, here we go. So I have my two lines. They're really close. They're going to the vanishing point. All these lines that go back need to go to the vanishing point. Now we're going to end the sidewalk. We're going to end this sidewalk here. It ends with a vertical line that's going straight up and down. And then we're going to go across. And that's our three directions. We have a vertical, which is straight up and down, and then horizontal, and then horizontal right there. So there we go. There's our sidewalk. And so it should be really thin. It should be really thin. I kind of made it a little thick. If it goes thick like that, that's okay. That's okay. And it would probably, I would probably do it wider. I'm just kind of copying the drawing that's there. You would really go wider. And it's really getting the feel of how all this works. All right, now we're going to do the thickness of this sidewalk. All right, so I'm going to go and think about how wide I want this sidewalk. So I'm going to go here, this point, right here to this point. And then I'm going to go, now all you need is 2 points to make a line, basic geometry. So I'm going to go from here to there and make that line. There we go. Oh. And a good tip with when you're making the lines is to put your ruler down, look at one point, make sure your ruler's there, go to the other point, make sure your ruler's there, and then go back to the first point to make sure you're at the because sometimes the ruler will move on you and you don't want that to happen. There we go. You have this like triangle that's happening here. That's our sidewalk. We can bring that sidewalk down too. Do a little bit more detail than that drawing has. And those are the basic lines. That's it. That's it. I like doing actually before this doing 9 squares. So you have 3 squares that are above the horizon line, 3 squares on your horizon line, and 3 squares below your horizon line. And then we make those into cubes. All right. That's probably a really good exercise to do before you do this one. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and break this into slabs of, and the slabs is really important to go horizontal. I have seen this so many times where beginning students get this at an angle. Don't put this at an angle. Make sure it's horizontal, right? So this is really important. Your lines need to stay horizontal. Remember, your lines should only be going in 3 directions. straight up and down, straight across, or to the vanishing point. These lines here should be going straight across. So this one's going straight across, and then you bring it up, straight across. Now, as the sidewalk goes back, each of these slabs gets smaller and smaller. And there's a way to make it, you know, there's a way to make lines to make it smaller. We're not going to do that. We're going to try to keep it simple. Try to keep it simple. But as you go back, try to make this closer and closer as it goes further back. And these sidewalks, there we go. There's the sidewalk goes back and back. I'm just doing it freehand. There it is. We have our sidewalk going back into space. All right, that's one sidewalk. Now let's do our first building. Our first building on this left side. We're going to do a square. So off this line, off the sidewalk, because this building is right against that sidewalk, we're going to go straight up. So anywhere on this line, usually further down the better. You can go down here, because you can have the sidewalk go around the building. But here's a point I already have, this point on this line. I'm going to go straight up, straight up. Now I'm going straight up. Now I can make these buildings below my eye level. So it means that I'm looking down on them, or I'm on eye level. So this is all these drawings, all these buildings are, none of them are taller than I am. So that's why the buildings are taller. They go above our eye level. Because imagine you're standing here, right? That's our eye level. And the buildings will be taller than you are. Unless you're looking down on them. Then they would be below your eye level. It gets a little funky. But there's our first line. And we're going to start off our square. So we're going to start off with a square. From that same first point, we're going to go back this way. And then the top of that, which went above our horizon line, just goes also horizontally, horizontal. So very simple, very simple. Vertical, horizontal lines. And here, this is the front of our building. This is our front of our building. The easy part of the building, because it's facing us, right? This building is facing us, just like this Rubik's Cube. They're just squares. It's facing you. It's when you go to the side, things go back into space, right? That's what's happening here. If you look at my Rubik's Cube, it's going back into space, and it gets smaller. Even just in here, this is bigger, and then this side is smaller. And there's perspective happening, right? So that's what's happening here. Here and here, this side is really easy. So when you're first learning to draw, this is what you want to do, is actually simplify stuff. We had some drawings where we're just drawing the front of the buildings. There were some really neat ones that were submitted that we just see the front, or it's called the orthographic view of the building, and you just do the front. There's not a lot of it's not as hard. You can do a door, you can get really fancy, you can put fancy lights or windows or whatever you'd like. And get fancy, because all it is all of your lines are going straight up and down or across, horizontal or vertical, right? You can make your doors or your building. Use your imagination. It's all just squares and rectangles and shapes and circles and all that stuff, right? Let's put some windows up here. Let's make it a 3-story building. There's one set of windows and then another set of windows above it. And I'm just doing this freehand. You want to get really technical and use a ruler all the way through, you can. But it's just a sketch. We're just doing it for fun. Sometimes we get caught up in trying to make things perfect. It's not about perfection. It's about the process. The how did we do it? The how. It's the process. And you want to aim for, quality. But don't worry if it's not there at first, because you're just learning. All right, so here we go. There's our windows. If we want to put bars or little things on there, or get really fancy with it, you can. So that's our front of our window, or you can even put signs. That's the front of our building. Now the side of the building, we already have one edge and the bottom edge. We have 2 edges. We need 2 more edges. We need the top, which goes from this point back to the vanishing point. And then on that line, we need to go down. So there's just 2 buildings on the street, and they're really long. They're out of proportion. They're out of scale. It's not a big deal. I'm just going to draw one line. If this is your first time doing perspective, that's fine. We're going to keep it simple. But here you can go really fancy. If you saw earlier, if you were here earlier, before I started recording, we had a really perspective with a lot of detail. You can get that detailed, and they're just following the same rules, these rules. All right, you can see here, there's one building, and this other building is going to be the same size. So they were using the same line, So this building back here is smaller, but it is the same height because it's on that line. I'm going to put a little bit of space between it. There's that one, and then there's that one. So these two faces are facing the street that's going back into space. And this one's longer. This actually should be shorter. If it was as long as this one, it would probably be a little more like this, like that. But don't worry about that. That's the biggest thing. And this building is probably as wide as this one here, because it gets really thin, really small, really fast. And if you look at the example, even the markings in the street there's only 3. It really should get smaller as it gets further back, but they look almost the same size. Well, they're just slightly smaller as it goes back. But it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But just know that there's a way to actually make that more real. All right, here we go. Very simple. There's a simple window here. I know we have a whole bunch of examples. Again, this on this side, your lines are going straight up and down. I'm going to start with this window. We're going to keep it simple. I have all kinds of windows on that side. It's just one window. And then again, a line has 2 points, the top point and the bottom point. Those 2 points go back into space. So my window is going to go on this side of this building. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see that. Trying to keep it simple. If you've done perspective before, go on your own. You can get really wild, putting signs everywhere, doing all kinds of stuff. But if it's your first time, you might struggle a little bit. Struggle's real. Be a warrior. Hang in there. All right, so we have the top line. It should be going to the vanishing point. Again, check both points. My straight edge, which is my folded paper, is here's one point and here's another point, and then you're just going down. It looks like it's almost going straight, but it is going down. It is going slightly down because it's really close to your vanishing your horizon line. See that looks like it's going straight, but it is actually going slightly down. Then we've got the bottom line, which is going a little more up. Yeah, perspective was only discovered 500 years ago. Seems like a long time ago, but it's really not. It was during the Renaissance where it really became popular, and it became the new thing. It was the newest thing. It was the newest iPad. It was artificial intelligence. It was the talk of the town. It was that's something else I wanted to share. There's a website that's really good for the artificial intelligence I wanted to share tonight. Well, actually before. That's all good. I'll get to it later. And I can't remember what it's called. It's on my computer. It's Odium or something. I don't know. All right, so there's our window. It's really simple. This drawing is really simple. Okay, so now there is space between these two buildings. This is the hard part. There's space between these two buildings. I'm going to erase that top part right there. And when you, all these buildings are cubes. Now, if on a dice, there's 6 points, there's 6 sides on a cube as well. If you look at the dice, you can see all the points. And when you roll the dice, you have a 1 from 6. At any time, you can only see at the most 3 sides, at the least 1. You can't see, I know there's 6 sides, but you can't see all 6 sides, no matter how much you turn it. And Picasso tried, that's where he came up with cubism. To draw more than one side, to really draw things in space. So here you can see we only have 2 sides, and here is 2 sides as well. So there's some space here. I'm going to draw this part of this building facing us, and so this is horizontal from this point right here where it hits that sidewalk. I'm just going to go back. There it is, straight across, horizontal, and at the top as well, up here, horizontal. And there it is. There's our other building. And you can walk between these 2 buildings. So there's a little walk space in between these 2 buildings. And what do they have? Just a simple window. I'm going to make it a big door. So I'm going to go straight up I'll go above because they have go above the horizon line, that horizon line that I have. I'm just trying to make it, I'm doing it freehand. Then the top of that line, we go to the vanishing point. And you can really get lost in, once you understand this, you can really get lost in adding like doors, adding signs, and just following those simple rules. The rules are simple, but it's not easy. It's not easy. At first anyways. It does become easy. I mean, everything's hard at first. There's our door. Yeah, so let's do this. Let's complicate it. You can keep it like simple like that, but if there was a little further away, I'm going to just put window lines on here. There it goes, straight up and down. And then if I want to cut that in half, somewhere in the middle, right about there, then that would go to that vanishing point right here, this line right here. If I were to put like one of those window panes, there you go. See that this little line is going up to that vanishing point. There it is. That's it. And there's a window. And if I were to put a door here, very simple, straight up and down, straight up and down. The top of this line needs to go to that vanishing point. There we go. Back. And then here we go. This comes down on this other line. There we go. So really simple. The lines on the inside of the building that's facing towards the street, that's the tops and the bottoms go to the vanishing point, and the sides go vertical, straight up and down. All right, we did one side. That's one side of the street. Let's get to the other side. So if you missed this, I'm going to do it again. I'll keep it simple. And then we'll go to a 2-point perspective, maybe back to 1 point. Let's turn this off. Here we go. All right, let's do the second side of the street. And we'll do it again. Yeah, practice is the mother of learning. Repetition is the mother of learning. Here we go. So we have the bottom line of the street. If you want it to line up, and he needs to come out to this street here too. So I can bring this over, this line. I'm going to do an imaginary little line. Could be even a sidewalk. And this side here, I'm going to bring it up to that, bring it down to that line. So here we go. I'm going to bring this line down. There we go. There it is, to that point, because it comes across right there. Boom. Here we go. The thickness of the sidewalk, the thinnest line here. Let's see, we can make it from there. It's going to be really thin. There it is, right there, from the vanishing point. You can see how thick it's going to be down here. Try to get it as thick or thinner. And this is probably the hardest line to do because it's really thin. It's going to be really thin up here. Then it gets big really fast as it comes down. There it is. That's the sidewalk. That's the thickness of that sidewalk, the width. And then again, we have our line that's right down here. That line, straight up and down. Now we're going to go straight across. Straight across, straight across. Yeah. 1 and 2. There it is. That's it. All right. Ellen, where are you? So who put this? Oh, a user put this one up. It wasn't Ellen. Ellen didn't put this picture up. She's not here tonight. Alrighty, let's do this. Now you can actually measure the distance here on this side, measure this distance and bring that over. And you can do that because it's on the same plane, on the same level. Now, I also use something called, how artists create space. I call it space pods. So placement pods, P-O-D-S, P-O-D-S. P stands for placement. Things that are lower on your paper are closer. Things that are placed higher are further back, even just a little bit. So even just each little level as you go back, it goes back into space, just little by little, it goes back into space. So we have placement. Then we have O stands for overlapping. You can see this building back here in front of that one. We can actually make it look more like it's standing back by putting a little bit more shade, making a difference. We can make a difference by adding a little bit of shade on this side of this building. I'm going to shade it out. And I was looking at some of your work. That's some of you guys are ready for values. Value is once you get into drawing, that's the next level. This is intermediate to advanced, starting to put the shading in. I really don't worry about shading because that's that's just the icing on the cake. But That's when you're ready to put the icing, make things stand out, especially right at the edge. I can go a little bit darker, like right in here. And then I can use a gradient as I come back out, make it go light as it comes out. It makes it look actually even more real because it has a gradient, because it's actually going back in here and it goes dark inside and then it comes out a little bit. You see there, that shade really makes it pop. Here, just adding a little bit of contrast, almost like coloring a little bit of a coloring book. You can see that really make it go in and out. Add a little bit of coloring to my windows as well. There it is. So that's overlapping. Going back to pods, we have placement, overlapping, and then detail. Things that go further back have less detail. There's a building back here. I'm going to put a third building with some shading in here. But the detail, as you go back here, you have less detail, right? So I'm going to go here, shade that side, and then back here, the detail gets, you lose a lot of the detail. And you also get dissonance, which is atmospheric dissonance. So if it gets lighter, because it goes to whatever the sky color is or things that are in the back, change in dissonance. All right, there we go. In the distance. And then S is size. So really simple. Things that are closer are bigger. Things that are further back are smaller. And perspective just does that. So that's pods. Placement, overlapping, detail, and size. All right, let's finish our second side. All right, so we know how wide we want our street. We got that measurement. You can bring that measurement over. I'm going to guess. I'm going to eyeball it. Say it's right about here. And let's get that sidewalk on that other side, second side, on the right side. All right, here we go. Why did the chicken cross the street? Well, to get to the other side. Here we go. Quack, quack. Why did the rooster cross the to get to the chicks? All right, here we go. Silly. All right, so we've got the sidewalk here. Now we can really easily just do these lines by following the lines here. So you can actually, if you get your straight edge and line it up with that line, you can just go straight across. And if it's horizontal, there it is right there. There's that sidewalk slab. Go to the next line, follow it around, and it'll line up right there. And a lot of times, no, streets aren't this mechanical, but it kind of helps with just for the fun of it. See, it goes back, back into space and time. There it is. So we have our two sidewalks done. Now let's do the same thing. We can actually here, see, because of placement, right? This is on the same level. We can bring this across this building here, this across horizontally, straight across, right in there. And that's where this building is. And that'll make this sidewalk as just the same. If we bring this across right there, this point right on that sidewalk, we're going to go, this is the important point right on that sidewalk line. Here's where we go straight across and straight up and down. Feel free to put comments in the chat if you have questions or however. Again, I'm going above the horizon line. Let's go zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see the whole street here coming together. So I have my two lines. I have they're going to this point. One's going horizontal, one's going vertical. That's my top. Let's go again horizontal at the top. And depending on how long you want this building to be, so you can cut it off right here. Right there, we have our square. It'd be good to look at pictures, see what kind of building you want to make it look like. Find a door, find details. All right, let's see. This one, that one doesn't even have any. Well, we'll just leave it, keep it simple. All right, here we go. So let's do this next line from this top point. See, this top point, it goes to the vanishing point. And I've done this before. So, I'm going to, I need to put my videos out and just point you guys to those videos. If you have questions, that's what I should be answering. But, all right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that someday, soon. All right, so there's my one long building. We need to just divide this building up. Tell you what, we're gonna, yeah. So here you got to decide how long this building is. You can make it one long building, or just you need to cut it. And our cut is going to be vertical. So along this line, if you want it really thin, you can cut it there. Just go back and just like we're slicing butter here, straight up and down, right in there. That's our building. This next building, here we go. I'm gonna go higher with it. I'm gonna go big. Go big or go home. And they're gonna be right next to each other. I'm gonna make this into a clock tower. Here we go. Just getting fancy here. It's just following the rules. It's just following the rules. I'm gonna break one of the rules right now though. So here's that. I went beyond our sidewalk. Erase that. Should stop right at the sidewalk. Now here at the top of this building, it's really tall. This one's really tall. This is a really tall building. Up here, right in there as it comes down. Yeah, you start forcing, but you really have to practice and actually even copying. That's another thing. Looking at pictures and finding the vanishing points and doing this on a picture. That would be your best bet to really understanding perspective and copying a photograph. All right, there's our side that's looking inside the street. And then we have the side that's facing us. It's going to be right here, straight across, and then down. This side is facing us. Now, there's a lot of lines to differentiate them, to make them a difference. We can shade them, because this is, or erase them too, like this building, this whole line right in here. I'd erase it. There it is. We have our two buildings. I can shade one side just to, so you can see that side right in there. Right there, that's one side. Bam. All right, there's one side. Now, I can put another building, another floor up on top, and get fancy. So I'm going to put this one line right in here, right in there, right on this side. And then I'm going to follow that down. I'm going to follow that down here, down to the vanishing point. Now it's really extreme. It's got, like, you can see this big difference here. Right there, it comes down. I usually like to actually have my streets pretty wide, because these are, even these sidewalks here are very thick. If a person was walking here, they'd have to really maybe even have a step to step up on that sidewalk. All right, so our top line here goes back to the vanishing point. I just stopped it right there, and I'm going to bring it straight down at the end of it. That little piece right there, it should be vertical, straight up and down. Now I'm going to go ahead and from this corner now, bring that across. It's going to be like a second level. And then we have the far side, straight up and down. Straight up and down. There we go. Bam. There it is. Now, somewhere in the middle, from here to here, the center is going to be like right in here. From this side to this side, the center is right about here. If you go off center, but anywhere on this line, as I go up, is a point, like right here. And you go up to that point. This is going to give us a pyramid. A pyramid. This pyramid breaks the rules. So I'm going to put a pyramid on top of this building. These angles are really tough right here because it's really tight. This little triangle and then this triangle.
Hey, Eladio, how did you find the center?
How did I find the center? I eyeballed it. I went from here, this side, and I kind of eyeballed it. I could measure it. I mean, from this end.
Okay, I got it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like it probably should be a little closer to the right. Yeah. Great question.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. And Pearl's here. Great. Good. You can never get enough perspective. I know we're having a little trouble. Now, okay, let's do this since you're here. All right. So I've tried keeping it simple. On this side, well, I did get, I don't know. Yeah, I guess this is a little more complex than the drawing, but this is really important. All right, I'm gonna do this. This is what we're gonna do on our big building here. All right, I'm gonna break it in half or somewhere in here, somewhere in the middle. Stay away from this line because you don't want uh, a tangent. Right, so we're gonna put a line here, point right there, that's the middle. Then I'm gonna go up here and put another point, that's the middle. And then down here, another point, that's a middle. So I have 3 points, right, on this side of this building, on the side of this building right here, my tall building. I have 3 points, right? One in the middle, that's not next to this, because then it'll line up with this. It could, but we try to stay away from tangents. We're trying to create space. When things line up, it causes problems. I want to be clear with things. So we have our 3 lines. This one's in the middle. It's kind of in the middle. And then up here in the middle. It doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, but we have our 3 points. Now those 3 points, guess what? They're going to go to our vanishing point right here. All right, so let's do that. I'll start with the top line, the top point. And right when it hits that side, it stops. Right when it hits this side of the building. Bam, it goes back and you stop when it hits that line. There's one. And here's this next one. 2. It's going down to that vanishing point. And make sure your ruler or your straight edge is on both points before you draw the line. This is really technical and it's really, and some people don't have the patience. I understand that, but you do need to just kind of step back. And some people are free with their drawing. There you go, and just go with it. But this is a little bit more mechanical. I would say mechanical. It's mechanical. It's like you're a robot. Yes, it is mechanical. AI is coming. Oh, what is that website? It was really cool. I'll share it. I've been doing a bunch of stuff on it. It's on my iPad. All right. And what else? Let's see. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna do one more building back here. And you can add all kinds of detail. This is where the fun stuff goes. Use your imagination. That's the greatest nation. Your imagination, just get wild with it. There's our important line for that. This actually line is the closest part to the us, the building. This line here is the closest part of this building to us. This line right here is the closest part of this building. This line here is also the closest part to us because we're standing right here. This is our eye level. This is also actually our vanishing point is where we're standing, kind of looking down on this street. We're actually pretty tall. Yeah, it's really interesting. Things were taller. Yeah, there's a lot of other rules that I'm kind of like breaking. We can get into if this is we can talk about, but I don't want to confuse. All right, so this line here, again, is the most important one. The side that's facing us straight across. And there's a gap between these 2 buildings, another one straight across. Right, so this is a rectangle right here. This is the rectangle. Same thing that's shaded on the other side. This one is the side that's going away from us. There it is. That's it. And then we can make this building as long as we want. Just end it right there. Straight up and down. Oh, there's our building. That's it. They have a window or something inside that building. So these 2 lines are straight up and down. And then this one's really close to the horizon line. So it's going to be really close to straight across. And then down here, it's going to be close to this one. So I can just fake it. I can fake it without a ruler. This one goes up and down. It goes up like it's going to that vanishing point. I'm echoing this line that's below it. See, so I'm not even using a ruler to do that right there. This could be a TV. You use your imagination, put a little antenna on it. It's old style TV, big box, the boob tube. And then let's see, we've got more details here if you want to add a door and stuff like that. And that's it. That's our perspective. Simple buildings. You can add more shading, you can add more windows, you can add more detail. See, that detail, that comes afterwards. The structure is what's important. Here's something that we can add though. Following this line out. I'm going to follow this line out right here. This line that's going out. Doesn't matter. You can do it higher or lower, but from this point right here out, that line right there. I'm going to add awning. So this line is actually going in the same direction as this building. And I'm just up in here. There's an angle. This is going to break the rules again as well. But this triangle that's here, it's going out. And then I'm going to go from this point in, right on that side. Oops. There it is. And then again, this point in, straight across. And it goes out. And I'm going to copy this angle that I have here, this angle that I faked. I'm going to bring it over right there. And this is kind of like awning. All these lines here should kind of be going at that same angle. There would be a vanishing point up there, but we're just going to keep it simple. Just kind of keep going in the same direction. There we go. This is awning. And we can actually even add like little decorations as it kind of comes around. This looks terrible. Like that. You can make it look nicer, you see. I'm just being quick with it just to show you. You don't have to follow. Once you know the rules, you can break the rules if you need to, like this. There we go. That's some awning. Awful awning. Gosh. What's happening? It's all right. It's not regular. I can fix that, but I'm not going to. You see, it doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes we get all caught up. It's just practice, practice, practice until it's not, right? Until you're like, okay, I want to make this perfect. I want to do the best I can. But you got to also go back and say, okay, I'm just going to do it for the fun of it. I'm just going to do it. All right, there's a big window here. Make this like a department store or something. Let's see, here we go. A big old window up here, all these windows. And see, just following the rules. Everything on this side is facing us. This is facing the street. This is facing us, but it's kind of coming out at us, the awning. All right, there we go. Just made that a little more complex. Let's see if there's, there we go. All right. Let's go back. All right, thank you for joining us tonight. We got quite a few of you. We got 20 of you here tonight. We had like 50 people sign up. I don't know how many it was. It was quite a bit. Here we go. Let's see. That's next drawing. All right, so this is a 2-point perspective. This one is a little more complex. Here's a 1-point perspective in a room. We'll do this one. And then this is 1-point perspective. And also it's just, look at all these lines are going down to the vanishing point. It's following the rules. And it's this basically. Well, let me just do this real quick. Here we go. You can see all these lines going down to the vanishing point. And what did he do? Yes. The procrastinator left-handed artist 500 years ago, Leonardo, not to be confused with the Ninja Turtles, Leonardo, Michelangelo, who was also an artist at the time. Right there. Ooh, look it. I've never really done this myself, but he's pointing to the left eye, or this part of his, and you see it's on the horizon line. There's the horizon line. He didn't do any mountains. Mountains can go above the horizon line, but he's like really right there. And this is interesting to actually study this. I've never really studied this because, yeah, you can see he's like on the horizon line. He's above, standing above. He's seated, right? I think this is really interesting. But you see, it's really simple. All the lines are going to the vanishing point, are straight up and down, or straight across. See, this is straight across, or straight up and down. Like here, you can see these lines straight up and down. And then everybody else on top of it, right? Yeah. All right, that's that. Very famous painting. And we can do this really quickly. You just sketch this all out, or I can anyways. But it's because you see, I don't get caught up in the detail. It would be a sketch. All right, let's clear this, clear all drawings. There we go. Great examples. Who is this user? I don't know who this was. Somebody suggested these. And this is a 2-point perspective. This is actually not that hard. Not that hard. It's going to 2 vanishing points. Now, all your lines, it's actually going to 3 points. This is a 3-point vanishing. This is a 3-point perspective. There's a point way up on top. So all lines are going to either one of the 3 points, and that's it. Your lines should be going to one of the 3 points. And that's the rule for this one. That's it. Your line should be going to one of those 3 points. And this is a 2-point perspective. This one's a forced perspective. These lines are too close. They should be wider. Same thing with the street, you know, and notice how it looks like a fisheye lens, a fisheye lens. That's what's happening because these 2 points here, these 2 red points are too close together. They should be further apart. Make art, make a mark, studios, yes. Learn to draw, make a mark. Leave your mark in the world. Oh, and then we're going to get to these. We'll sketch these out real quick. I'll do these, although I'd like to draw that one. We'll do these as a warm-up. I'll sketch these out really fast. This one, I'll slow down on it. And this one, we'll make it even slow down because I can really slow down, get into all this detail. And if we're drawing this, and let me see. All right, cool. And then there's this flower. There's overlapping and stuff, and a lot of stuff in there. The cat. I don't know. This is Swan here, Suan. If you're here, we'll draw it. Yeah, this one too. This one's kind of, this picture is a picture of a painting, which makes it kind of a little tougher. Sounds good. All right, we'll see what we can do. These sketches are awesome. All right, and then there's a face. That's a tough one. All right, let's do this. Oh, and those are neat. That's cool. That's it. Our cat. All right, back to where we are. So we're gonna do, actually, let's do this room first. Where's the room? That one, a 1-point perspective of the room. We'll do that. All right, so we're gonna do something similar to this. I might add a table, or I don't know. We'll see what we add. We'll do this one really quick. We're doing a lot of perspective, so I'll do this one really quick. Keep it simple. All right, there we go. Something in the chat already. I just put a selection of seals. Okay, cool. It looks like AI. I don't know if it is AI. I don't think it is. Those I don't think are AI. All right. I don't know if I share my screen.
Not the seal, the other one that had like the fish thing that looked weird.
Oh, okay.
The perspective in that, yeah, that looked weird, like someone drew it in a pad, in an iPad.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look. Well, we'll get to there again right now. We'll do a 1-point perspective of the room. All right. So here we go again. Let's do this again. You don't see the horizon line, but the horizon line is there. We'll do one again, horizon line. And this one, do it really light. And the vanishing point right in the center. Doesn't have to be in the center. It can be to the side. But if it's your first time, just keep it in the center. We're going to do our square. We're going to do the side, the whole wall that's away from us. This is the furthest part away from us because we're inside this room, right? So I'm going to draw a square around that vanishing point. There's our bottom. I think that's it. Yeah, the bottom. And then the sides. Well, not a square. It's going to be a rectangle. There's our sides, side, and then the top. Now, that's the wall away from us. The wall away from us. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and Anne Francois. Okay. How do you say that? Swan? Or what? I don't know. Is it short?
Oh, you say, yeah, swan.
Swan. Okay, swan.
Like the bird. Yeah, a friend of mine gave me this name, says, you know, you're a swan, not an Anne Françoise, but so I use it for people who don't have difficulty saying my name. But you say my name so well. I'm always grateful when you say it. Thank you.
And Francois. Cool. Yes. All right. So here's my room. And we have our vanishing point. And when you have this rectangle, you have 4 points. You have the corners, 4 corners.
Eladio, your screen is too small.
Oh, my screen is too small. Let me stop sharing. There we go. Bam, there we go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for reminding me. That's why we're live here. Let's see. Here we go. Spotlight. There we go. That's better. So here's the wall that's furthest away from us. Here's our vanishing point. And there's things in front of this wall, which is the overlapping, if we talked about pods. And that's where this gets a little bit tough because you do have some planning to do. But we're just going to go ahead and draw straight on this. And here's my straight edge. Bring that over again. So from this vanishing point to this point, make sure the points are on your ruler. And then we're going to go out. We're going to go out. There we go. That's out. And then I'm doing the bottom 2 lines. Again, one vanishing point to this point on the corner. Make sure it's lined up. And go back, double check. You're almost measuring twice, cutting once. It's really important. There we go. And then you do that other line. And that's our floor now. We have our back wall and our floor. Now let's do the ceiling. Same thing. We have 2 points at the top, 1, 2, and then we have our vanishing point. It just takes 2 points to make a line. Line it up, and then we go out. I'm going to go a little faster this time. There we go. Got a lot to draw tonight. There we go. There's our ceiling. There's our floor. Yep. Here we go. And now we have a door on this side, right? And we can do the door that's the part that's closest to us here. Straight up and down. It's going above our horizon line or our eye level. There's our line. That dictates how tall this door is. See, it's going above our eye level. And then now the top of the door goes to the vanishing point. You have 2 points, the top of the line and then the vanishing point. We connect those two. And depending on how wide you want this door, just say stop. You can, this is ratios and proportion to get that proportion right until it kind of looks right. And then just bring it down from that point. Just straight down. Again, be careful not to. It's really easy. I see this so much. You might even do it, and that's okay. Your angle goes out that way. See, this will make your angle go out that way. You have to make sure this paper's straight up and down, or your ruler, your straight edge, straight up and down. I'm just getting a. We're going guerrilla warfare. We're just doing whatever it takes to get our goal, to meet our objective. We're going guerrilla. All right, there we go. That's our door. There's also a handle on there. Same thing, it would be straight up and down. And if there's a thickness to it, it would be 2 lines going straight up and down. But the top and the bottom would be going up here, slightly up, because it's below our eye level. Yeah, as you start adding tables and adding other stuff, it gets a little more complex, but you're still following the rules. Unless the table or chair turns, but we're assuming everything is on. Yeah, that's the next level. So there's like this bookshelf. Oh no, it's a desk or something. All right, so we're going to do the desk. Now, the way the desk is in this room, it's just a square against this line here, right? So we have this line that's going back. I'm going to find a point where I like it right there. We'll use that point right there. And then I'm going to just do my square. So I'm going to do a square off that point. We're going up. And then we're going across. And this is my square. This is the square. This is the part of the desk that's facing us. And then across, it's just a rectangle. And then up and down right there. But it's against the wall right here. If I wanted to do it away from the wall, I would put some space there. But that's facing us right there. Oh. And it looks like there's a chair or something inside it, but I won't worry about that. Now the top of the chair, or the top of the table would go back to the vanishing point like that. There's from these 2 points, these corners, they go back to that vanishing point. There it is. And then depending on how long you want this table to be, try to find, like here, I'm trying to fight, you'll find yourself doing this sometimes, try to fight the, because if I were to do it straight across right here, I would do a tangent. So I'm trying to find an area where it wouldn't have a tangent. So like right in there, this could be my desk. So here's this line going back to the vanishing point, this line going back to the vanishing point, and then the desk, the back of the desk right in there like that, straight across. This line should be going straight across. And then from here, straight down. And then, oh, how far down is the question? It goes down as far as this too. So this should be going to that vanishing point here. Because here you don't want to go lower. This line here actually needs to stop where the bottom of this desk is, because then it won't be right. It needs to go back to that here from this point right here. So where this line and this line meet right here, boom, right there, that's how far this desk should be, or that box. Now this box could be anything. It could be a TV, it could be a table, it could be so many things. Again, your only limitations, your imagination. You can let it run wild. Right in there. There's the top of that desk. And getting things to fit, putting a, you can, put a lamp on here, put all kinds, you can decorate this room, put windows, yeah, there's some windows. The windows here would be going straight up and down because it's facing us. It's easier. This is facing us. We don't have to worry about perspective. So when you're learning to draw, grab things and draw them by looking at them straight. Don't let the angles confuse you. You can practice your drawing this way, simplifying it, and then get into the angles. And that's what we'll be doing. If you follow the course, of course. Coming not too soon. Hopefully sooner than later. All right, so there's a window. I just sketch it in really quickly. And then we can do, if we were to do a window on this side, I'm gonna see, let's finish this. What's interesting here, it's below our eye level. So if this was a lamp, I would be able to see the top of that lamp. I'm gonna do an oval in here. And maybe we should talk a little bit about forms and how they would kind of go in here. So yeah, if we're looking, if it's because we're looking down, this is our eye level. Again, this is our eye level. We're looking down at this kind of cone. I'm drawing a cone in here. And then a sphere or a lamp that's on this table. I'm making a circle and then just making it like trying to make it round. There we go. A little crescent right there for the shadow side, making it look rounded. And a little bit of shading on the sides. Soft shading because it's rounded. This cone is round. There it is. Oh, there's our lamp. Let's put a window back here. I'm going to put the window on this wall. Again, this is straight up and down. From here, I would go out to this, from this vanishing point, go out. So here we go. I go here to this vanishing point and then just go out. And I'm using overlapping. Again, this window is behind our lamp here. Let's say it's coming out this way. There it is. And you can see it, this one side's longer than this one, but we can say how long we want our window to be. I can bring it in to that point right there. There it is. There's our window. The window's got funky angles because it's on this side that's facing the center of the room. You can put other stuff in here and stuff like that, but that's pretty much the drawing that's on that. Okay, so that's how I would do it. All right, let's go on. We just lost somebody. All right, here we go.
Wait, Eladio, how about a windowsill? Or go to make it a little more complicated. The window's not just,
Yeah. All right, let's do that. So the windowsill.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for your question. Yeah, because I can keep it simple.
Thank you.
All right. So again, you're just following those rules. You're just following the rules. So all right. So if there's a thickness to this window, let's say there's a thickness to this window. I have this. I'm going to erase my lamp here. Let's erase this lamp. And let's zoom in so you can see what's happening. And zoom in a little bit. There we go. Here, this would be going straight up and down. And let's say my lamp is a little bit lower. Bring it down. It's a different kind of lamp now. All right, so but here's our window. This still goes to the vanishing point, and this goes up and down. So here, there is a thickness. We want to use these two corners and bring them across. They're going to be straight across. They're going to be coming in straight across. I'm doing this pretty thick so you can get an idea of what's going on here. It's just going straight across, and then here, straight up and down. Here's our rectangle. This side is facing us. This side is facing us, but you see it comes in, and this leaves two little triangles. There's a triangle above it and a triangle below it. This is going to be the bottom of this that sill, and this is going to be the top of this sill here. So how does that go next? Let's see. Let's do this next. So I'm going to give you a second to do that while I look at this message. And then we'll go on to the next. Okay, so now all we need to do is from this point to the vanishing point, bring it out. See, right in here, right in there. So that comes out, and it would go behind this wall. So this is the top of this sill right in there. And this side is facing us. And then here, this is the bottom of that. So this is the thickness of this wall, and you'd be able to look outside there. So now from this point to this point, I'm going to bring it out. So this point to this point, and then out. There we go. And see, this is the bottom, and it goes behind here. Now, if this whole wall was made of glass, you'd actually have another rectangle back here from these points, and then it would come down here, and this would come out to here if this wall was made out of glass. So this line would continue, let's see, and where this kind of connects. Now, if you can imagine this is a box now floating in space here, there we go. This would go back. Let's see, that's actually would probably be longer, like that. Yeah, because these lines need to line up. See, that's what's happening. If this wall was made of glass, you would see that thickness here, but it's not. So I would erase all this right in here. All this is erased, and all that's like behind there. See, so this is the top of that wall. This is the bottom, because there's a hole in this wall, and this is the part of that wall that's facing us. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Anything else? You wanted me to add something, or we want to move on, or any other questions? How about some floors? Let's do this real quick. I like doing this.
Yes, and a ceiling lamp.
A ceiling fan or something? Okay.
Like hanging lamp.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm gonna do this. A simple floor. We can do checkered floors. There's a way to do checkered floors. I'll take a vote. Checkered floors or wood floors? All right, we'll just do a wood floor. So I'm gonna a one line coming across like this, and I'm just gonna put points on this line. This line, you can measure. I'm just gonna in half. This is about halfway point. Half. It's a good practice to kind of like break things in half. There's our 3 points again. Break those in half again. Half, 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 and just keep going till you're kind of like have quite a bit. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or not, but it'd be a good little exercise trying to break things in half and then breaking them in half and half again until you have about quite a few points. Now, all these points go to the vanishing point, right? So that's all you need to do. Line them up. And here we go. 1 point. These are the slats on the wood floor. This goes behind that table. So I stop it right there. Here goes the next one. Also goes under the table or right next to it. Well, there's the table right next to it. Then the next one. And you stop at the wall. Then the next one. These lines will not cross over. You just got to make sure that your vanishing point, your lines on the vanishing point and on the point we made, and then just go back into space. It's going back in space and time. Einstein had a great imagination. It's wild. I just heard a story about him. Well, I've always known he had trouble in school. And even he didn't, that's how he got to be working at the patent office. And it took him people several years to understand the genius between the theories that he came up with while as a patent clerk, which is really wild. Really wild. It was a really good interview. It was on Lex Friedman's show with a biographer. He did the biography of a lot of people, Benjamin Franklin, and he did Elon Musk, and it was a great interview. Heard that today. Friedman, F-R-I, Lex, L-E-X, Friedman, F-R-I-D-M-A-N. Does a lot of stuff with AI too. He's interviewed people that are on the cutting edge of AI. go. And really simple, but hard. There goes my, all of these. Just making sure the ruler lines up, your straight edge lines up to the points. It's just 2 points. Closest distance between 2 points is a line, straight line. It's our journey, going back in space. There it is. There's all our lines. There's our slats of wood. Man, not too shabby. Add a little bit of shading, add a little bit of texture if you want, little shadows. I'm just gonna really quickly just put some scribbles on here, a little bit of shade. Bam. And then somebody said up here. Now up here, I'm gonna do an oval shape right up there. See, depends on what kind of lamp you want to do. Doing that oval shape, because that's really a circle in space. And then I don't know what kind of lamp you want on here. If you want, oh, we can do a ceiling fan. A ceiling fan would also run on, that's a challenge, run on that oval. I'm gonna do another oval here. Find that center, put it like a ball in there, I guess. And then we have the blades. I'm gonna do one blade that's just kind of coming out on that oval. And then another blade that's coming out and on that that oval. Then another blade that comes out on this other oval. And I am doing it symmetrically, so this might not be easy for beginners. It's a symmetrical shape here. Just 4 blades. And then I can let's see. I'll just shade them in. Yeah, there's more to it, but I'm not going to get into it. How would this attach? Okay, we can make it attach. I was thinking just by a pole, put a little pole on it. And then that way we can actually add another bulb on top. So this part is rounded, just like here, it's rounded, and then this part goes like as a part of an oval. So it's what's happening here is really a dome, So a dome is basically this. A dome is a ball that's cut with an oval inside it. So that's a dome. So the top part is going to be rounded, and then the bottom part is going to be like an oval. So that's the shape that's going on in there, is that dome shape. And it's not a shape, it's a form, right? There's a difference between shapes and form. Shapes are flat, form is 3-dimensional. There's 3 basic shapes: square, triangle, and a circle. And there's 5 basic forms: a sphere, a cube, a cylinder, a pyramid, and a cone. Right, so we've gone over that. Got to practice that. All right, cool. There it is. All right. Thank you so much. I got to go, unfortunately, but we'll be back. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. First time class, excellent teaching. Oh, thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for your compliments. All right, here we go. Let's go. Keep going. All right. Share my screen. Oh, here we go. All right. So we did a 1 point, 2 point. Actually, 1 point and 2 point. Do we do 2 point? No, we didn't do 2 point. This one just jumps to 3 point. This is a 3 point perspective. This is 3 point. A little more complex. I think we'll just do a box, because this has a lot of shading in it. You can see the shading. And we'll just go ahead and do this one. Oh, there's something in the chat. Oh, you're welcome. Awesome. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat as well. Put them in the chat. Here we go. So this one has 3 vanishing points. It has the 1 point way up here, and then there's a 1 point over here, and then another point way over here. Right. So that's it. They're really low. So you can see this come up, and then it goes down, goes up, and then it goes down. This would be a 2-point perspective, but and the 2-point perspective, just our lines would just be going straight up and down like this. See, this could be a 2-point perspective, but then they made it a little more complex by adding another vanishing point up on the top, and that brings these legs out, right? So if this was just a 2-point perspective, it would be something like this, right? This would be 2-point perspective here, but they added a 3rd point because things as they get further away, they get smaller. So 3-point perspective is more like how we see. Yeah, there we go. But if we're like really close to this, you don't feel it. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and just do this. All right, let's just jump into it. I'm going to keep it really simple. We'll just keep this one really simple. All right, moving along. We're skipping 2-point perspective. We're going to 3-point. So here we go. We're going to do our vanishing point way at the bottom. I'm going to do this freehand, just really quickly. There's our vanishing point at the bottom, our horizon line, sorry. And then our 2 vanishing points, they should be at the ends. They should be at the ends. Try to get them, the further away, the better. The further away, the better. I mean, really go extreme. The further away, the better. That way you don't have a forced perspective. And then we'll do one way at the top, right in the middle, way at the top, a vanishing point at the top. So there's our 3 points, our 3-point perspective. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start with that center line. Just bring it straight down. That's it. Just bring it straight down. That's the easiest one. Straight down. That's it. So there's our. So every single line needs to go to a vanishing point. Every single line here needs to go to a vanishing point. I'm going to go ahead and do the sides. Now, what's happening with this, the sidewalk actually goes up. So we're actually below the sidewalk. So it's below our eye level horizon line. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit. I'm going to do that at the bottom. We'll go up a little bit and do the sidewalk first. Let's start from the bottom up. So we're going to bring it up above our eye level. So we're actually really on the floor looking up at this really weird perspective, going up, right there, just slightly above. There's our sidewalk. Sidewalk's going up. And we're really on the floor. All right, there's our sidewalk. And let's get our sides. Go all the way up to the vanishing point. Oops, not quite. Off a little bit. Quality materials here. There we go. There's one. Here's the other one. I'm going gorilla tonight. All right, there we go. There's our triangle. Doesn't look like much, but this is it. All right, so somewhere on here now, on this line, is a point. That's the point we need. That point right there. Oh, okay. So we have 2 triangles, actually 4 triangles. We have this really long sidewalk triangle. We have our building triangle, 2 building triangles, and the other sidewalk. So there's our 4 triangles. Here we go. Now, what's really interesting, the detail in here is the columns. All right, so I'm gonna see if I can get those columns. I'm gonna go get those columns. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got this one line, and ooh, it's kind of high. There's quite the angle. The angle's pretty steep. Might want to bring it down. I'm going to bring it down slightly. That's too high for my taste. Right there. So I'm going to bring it down. Right there. That's it. That one. Then same thing on the other side. Bring that over. Oh, there it is. And that goes down to that. Now here's our cube. This is our cube. Right. This is our box. We have our 2 sides, and then you can't see the top. Now we're going to turn these sides into columns. Right. So this is really complex. Here we go. They're going to be columns. They go to the vanishing point up on top. Here's our column. Here's one column that goes up. This is one column right there. And then the other column on the other side, up to the vanishing point. A little technical. This will be our last technical drawing. Then we'll, I'll keep it simple. We'll cut it short. And then we'll get to our sketching. Well, there's one column. And then we'll do the 2 columns on the ends. You almost have to play it by ear at first. And there's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. You see this thickness is going to be less than this because it's further away. There we go. Let's do the other column on the other side. There's ways to do it mathematically to make it more precise, but we won't worry about that. We'll be here all night. Now, here's our columns. Now, what we're going to do, these 2 points here are really important, right? We have our 3 columns. These 2 points right here. Okay, from here, we go to the opposite side vanishing point. So there's going to be a really small little line. This small little line goes, even this small little line goes back to the vanishing point. It's still following the rules. Even this little line right here, this little line right here goes back to this vanishing point on the right, that little line. And then on this side, same thing. It's going back to this vanishing point over here, slightly back. See? So it's cut, they should be coming down and inward. This one goes to that vanishing point, and this one goes to that vanishing point. Go ahead and do that. And then we're going to add our thickness to that. This is our thickness of that. However thick this column is, it goes to our vanishing point up there. All right, all right. That's it. And then here, this one, up to that vanishing point. These are our 2 points where we line up our ruler to the vanishing point and down to the end of that column line, and then just bring it down. There it is. So there's our 3 columns. We can see those sides. This is kind of a forced perspective. There's a lot of stuff going on in here. And I would probably even, this line is just a guideline. This is the end of the wall is actually in here. I'm trying not to complicate it, but there's all this stuff that's happening. Because this is the end of the wall right in here. That end of the wall. I think I'm just going to do one. There's that end of the wall right in here from this corner out that way. And then from this corner inside as well. But make sure you're lining it up on the vanishing point. This vanishing point, that point, and then back out. There. And all this is underneath. We're looking underneath this, and that's why this comes out. We're going to bring it out right now. I'll bring it out. But all this is shaded because it's underneath. We're looking under this little thing. So from this corner and this corner here, we're going to go out opposite again. From this vanishing point to here, we're going to go out. See that? And then from this vanishing point to this corner, we are going to go out. There it is. And then now we're going to go, all right. Again, hang in there. It's kind of technical. All these lines, I mean, there's all these lines that are inside these windows and stuff. It looks really complex, but they're all following the same rules, simple rules. They're going to the vanishing points. They're all going to the vanishing point. Every single line is going to a vanishing point. All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to go up now. From these 2 lines where they end, we're going to go out to the vanishing point and do the shelf like right there. Right there. I hope this person's here. User number 3622566627. Whoever you are, thank you for submitting this picture. There it is. Now this is the bottom of this whole shelf. So this should all kind of be shaded one value, right to where erasing that one part. All this is the bottom of that shelf. And I think I made mine stick out a little bit more than the picture, which is okay. That is all the bottom of that shelf. Shelf, or what would you call it? railing, or not railing, the technical architectural verbal word. All right, now this shelf has a thickness to it, and these also go to the vanishing point up on top. So the thickness is really thin, but they should go to the vanishing point. It's a really thin little edge there. One here, it's already, that one's going to the vanishing point. And then this one up here going to the top vanishing point. These three little lines, these three little pigs going up to that vanishing point right there, just like that. All right, 803. There we go. Now all we need to do is the thickness of this is just goes to this vanishing point here, and then goes up. There it goes. See, I'm making it a little bit thicker so you can see. It looks like a looks like a giant stool, like a three-legged, four-legged stool, like a chair. This would be that top. See, it's just your imagination. It's just the ratios and the proportions. Your point of view. It's like looking up at a chair if you were a little kid. This one of these sides is actually shaded. You can differentiate. There it is. And then differentiate one of these sides as well. A little bit of shading, especially right at the edge. Bringing that a little bit darker. Just using circles for shading. We got really technical really fast. If you're a beginner, sorry. We usually have beginner stuff for you. And then we really got technical really quick. I didn't really get any beginning pictures, drawings. We did have some stick figures. There we go. I got to get the course together. I really do. Probably be taking one day, a month off to really just work on it. But I've been busy with other stuff. So. All right, that's it. So yeah, I'm going to just do these really quick. So these lines here would go to that vanishing point on the left. Everything on this side would go to the vanishing point on the left. Things going up and down here would be going up to the vanishing point at the top. And then we would do our next floor, same thing. We would follow these lines going up. This line here going up to get that column. And then we would do the same thing with that next level, and so on and so forth, all the way to the top. All the way to the top. But my angles are a little different, and yours too will be a little bit different. You almost have to play with the angles till you get it and see how wide my columns are too. This is all proportions and ratios and stuff, which you know, don't get frustrated with it. Just know that's the challenge that you're having, right? The proportions and the ratios and all that stuff. All right, we're just leave it at that. Let's jump into sketching. Whew. Yes, let's jump into sketching. Hey, I see you. All right, cool. All right, so let's get to sketching. We're gonna do, actually, since somebody's here, we'll start off, try to start off simple. We're gonna start off, we're just gonna sketch. It's just gonna be a sketch. Let's see, let's jump to sketching. Even though the pictures are gonna be a little challenging. We did that one right now. That one. We're gonna sweetheart. Here we go. Let's jump to yeah, feel free to put things in the chat. That's fine. This is 2-point perspective. Here's the seal. We're gonna do a bunch of seals. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the seal. You can follow along. I'm just gonna, you can want to sketch these other ones. I'm gonna draw them pretty quickly. I know there's somebody in here that's really new to drawing too. These seals are a little hard to see. So this will just be a warm-up, and then we'll draw this chameleon. We'll draw the chameleon. This one I'll break down somewhat. All right, so this will be a warm-up of sorts. I'll copy it and put it in the chat. Copy image. I think, yeah, copy image, and then I can put it in the chat. Oh, here we have 2 things in the chat. Oh, all right. Thank you, Pearl, for joining us. Je t'aime. All right, here we go. Let me see. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and post this picture to everybody. There it is, paste it. There it is. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to draw this seal. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Let's break this apart and break this down. Ready. I'm just going to go ahead. I think this is a free-handed one. Free-handed drawing, yeah. Yeah, this is almost like a triangle right in here. Look at, see, there's a triangle right in here. Notice the shapes. Now this is again, we're doing, look at these big shapes. Now there's a roundedness here, but if we kind of almost envelope, they were saying that's enveloping, but I call it, you know, just seeing the big shapes. See, this is like putting this in an envelope. If you see these shapes, it kind of helps with your drawing. Let's use a straight line. Let's use a straight line. Let's erase all this stuff. Yeah, so using a straight line, I can see that this is kind of almost straight here, straight there. There's little curves and stuff. But if you see this kind of helps draw, breaking it down into these shapes like that. Look at that. There, that's it. That'll help you with this. This, you can see this is almost straight. Here, this would be a curve, but even this curve has like straight lines to it. And same thing here. Notice that angle, notice this angle, and this could even envelope that way. So try to see the big shapes first, the big ratios. There we go, that, and this curve in here. See that as a circle, but this, I can even see that as a shape here. And this will help you with your proportions. See this here, and then that circle there. All right, so we're going to sketch these really quick. I'm going to sketch them all. Actually, sketch quite a few. So this will be a warm up, and then on the next drawing, I'll slow down a little bit. So this one we're going to speed up, and then the next one we'll slow down. And the next one we're going to do is that chameleon. We'll do that chameleon. All right, so get ready. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and draw these seals. The seals. All right, so the seal. Again, the angles here and here, these two angles, this triangle here, and I don't know, I'm trying to simplify it, but it's really tough. Here, I'm gonna go like that. So see those angles there, that angle there, and that angle there. This is almost straight up and down here, straight up and down. That angle, this triangle. That, and then it comes out, and then here it's kind of straight, and then we can add another triangle to it, something like that, with kind of flippers there. All right, so those are the angles. Now I'm going to curve all these angles up. Okay, so right in here, a little bit of a curve. Right in here, a little bit of a curve. See, I'm curving that out. And then here, this is a halfway, it goes up to the head. These pictures are a little blurry, Feel myself kind of getting a little shy. Anyways, it's all good. So this is the top of the head, and then here's a little bit of that body. See, I'm just adding that curve to it. What's important about seeing these shapes is it kind of helps lay it down, helps you block it in. Really, it is to see these shapes and kind of go back and forth. There's an eye in here, right about in there. I'm just gonna, the picture's not a great picture, so I'm just putting a shaded spot for the eye. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. I'm just putting a shaded spot for the eye. And then I can actually even shade some of this stuff to kind of make it look like it's giving it some form, because there's stuff, detail and stuff on here for this this sea lion kind of coming in here like this. And
Yeah,
then,
I was trying to do it by trying to do just the lines outside. I think they call that gesture,
yeah.
and I couldn't do it.
Oh,
I couldn't do it. It ended up looking like I don't know, like in Spanish is a garabato. So
garabato.
then I tried doing shapes and the shapes, and it just didn't look real. So
That's okay. I mean, that's okay. If it doesn't, if you don't hit it, or if you want to show it, I can see what you're trying to do, but it's kind of hard. Um, yeah, until you just got to practice, right? Some of the steps are not going to come out. We all don't like making mistakes. Like I said, nobody likes to lose, but you kind of have to get comfortable in that space a little bit until you get it. That's where a lot of people give up and quit. You kind of just got to get comfortable, like, okay, it's not coming out, but you got to just keep trying to see the angles, and then you'll see it, and you look back, and you can see like, okay, oh, these angles are wrong, or this is too big, this is too small, and then just go through that a little bit, and once you reach the other side, it's like, oh, you get better. You really do. It's kind of, it's observing and learning to see that. You can see how that is. I don't know if you want to share your garabatos. They're so chunky.
Well,
So,
because I remember seeing, I don't know if it was you, or I do remember that when you were when you try to do the shape, not to make it symmetrical because it doesn't look real. Was it you who said that? I don't know. I was so confused. It was bad. So I
it's
figured I would see what you would do with it.
uh-huh.
To not make it symmetrical from side to side, and
Uh-huh.
for it not to be the same shape so that it looks more natural.
Oh,
Maybe I'm confused.
I do say that about legs and the body sometimes. The body does have
Uh,
like, especially the muscle does kind of like a leg on the opposite sides do kind of go back and forth like a leg. Let's say that we were to draw this leg here with the knee. Yeah, you don't, they don't yeah, you don't do that symmetrical. That comes with bodies and stuff like that. Like this would be a leg. You'd have one up a little bit higher. Not, it wouldn't be symmetrical like a bottle. But if you're doing a bottle, then you would have a line of symmetry and make sure that bottle is symmetrical. And that's a good exercise to do. Try to get a line of symmetry, and then draw bottles or cups and try to get them to be symmetrical like this. This is a good exercise as well. Here's a bottle. See that oval shape. And that would be good. That's symmetrical, but body parts are usually not. But it's good to see those. Let's see. I'm gonna draw the other two. See the problem with these seals. They're the detail's not that great. All right, I'm gonna try to simplify them though. Here we go. I'm gonna start off with a circle because everybody has a circle. That's gonna be the head, right? And then from off of this head, we're gonna start off here. I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible because I know there's somebody that's drawing for the first time. So here's my circle for the head. Then we're gonna go off at an angle here. See, I'm adding to this neck part, and then this part here, right? So there's our circle right on here, kind of almost following the circle off into there and kind of down, right? So this is the body. This is the head, and the body kind of is attached to that circle. It's almost like if you're imagining a spray, it's spraying off this circle, kind of like, so you kind of don't make, I see this all the time. Don't do your circle and then attach the body like that. This is not, don't do that. You want to kind of like have it spray off the edges, like it's going off the edge, off this edge, right? Off this edge, this angle, and it should widen up slightly as it goes out. All right, let's see. Let's see how much body we can get in here. I'm trying to feel this body in here. I'm not going to worry too much about the body. You can actually put a little bit of a bump right in here and bring it out, and it does kind of like looks like a sausage here. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's kind of like a little bit of a sausage. There's an arm that kind of comes down here, but let's make it like a sausage here. So it's kind of like a little bit of a sausage shape, right? That sausage, it's actually a form. After that sausage form, I'm going to bring this leg down because this is the leg. It's kind of like that. That's the leg, and we'll just sketch it all, kind of sketch it out. I don't know. I'm scribbling here because this is a dark area, and this is not detail. I don't even worry about this. Nobody's going to really look at this. It's just that part right there. And then here's this fin, and then here's this other fin. This fin shape. This fin shape Yeah, it's kind of like that, and it fits in there like that. And then here it's kind of like almost has its elbow in like that. Now this is going to look kind of bad, and that's okay if it's not to proportion or if it's not looking good. What's going to be important, it's going to be cute, is the face. I'm going to really focus on the face, and all this other stuff is not really that important. I mean, if you get it, great. If not, it's just what's going to be important is that face, that inside that circle. All this can be just scribbled out almost. It's like it's all shaded, right? It's all just this. Nobody's going to really pay attention to this. This is all just like extra, right? All this stuff is just extra, right? Here, the face though, is what we're going to really focus on. So let me go ahead and leave that out for a bit, so you can see what that kind of looks like. It looks like a big giant bean with comes to a point. And I really didn't talk too much about these fins, but they're kind of like leaf shapes. They're like two circles. The circle shape would continue that way. The circle shape would continue that way to this football shape. And then we've got this shape here. And your proportions might be off. I mean, your fins might be a little bit small, or especially if you're new, how big the fins are and how they fit. You can see how I just kind of scribbled them in. Try to get them in. It's not a big deal if they're too small or too big. Just know that comes with practice. You'll fix that. But the face, let's get this face in there. Let's see how we're going to do this face. All right. So this face here, we're going to break this in half. It's actually a little bit on the left, but I'm going to break it in half. Try to simplify this. This is just my guideline. And then right in the middle, I'm going to do right in the middle of that line. Going up, I'm going to do a heart. We're going to do a heart for the nose. So it looks like a heart. If you look at it closely, at this seal, it looks like a heart. That nose looks like a heart. So how big you do the heart, that's all kind of proportions and stuff. So if you do it too big, that's okay. Don't worry about it. You're just having trouble with proportions. If it's too small, that's proportions as well. But there's the nose. It's just a heart shape. Let's get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm drawing here. So the middle is probably right below it, but there's that nose. It's kind of like a heart shape. Then I'm going to bring that down, put it on like it's a balloon, heart balloon. It's on a little strip there. And then I'm going to bring out, I'm glad you're smiling as we're drawing these. Somebody's thinking that we're drawing seals. I got a seal of approval here. All right, here we go. Yeah, there we go. So then the bottom of the mouth kind of just opens up right in here, just like that. There we go. And then I'm just gonna open up the shade, so it just kind of goes out at an angle. Yeah, a little break from all that perspective that we were drawing. There it goes. So there's kind of like the mouth. All right, Demi's here. Hello. Let's see who else. All right, thank you for joining us. All right, as we go away from the technical drawing to this little more free drawing, I think. But there we go. And there's shading in here. There's shading. Now the eyes are really hard to see. It's really hard to see what kind of eyes they have, but I'm going to simplify them as well. I'm going to go in here and kind of like do these kind of like circle shapes this way, because that's the shape that I kind of see in there. And then the eyes are kind of in there. I'm just going to do them circle shapes. We're just going to do some circle shape eyes, but this is they're kind of resting inside that space. So we're going to do a circle eye. Let's just do a circle eye resting in there, circle eye resting in there. And then what really makes this look real is making those highlights. So I'm going to keep a little bit of that highlight and just like shade one part of that eye, so you can see that little light part of that eye. Same thing on this side. I'm just going to shade half of it and leave a white part of that eye, kind of like right there. There's our eyes. And let me see. They look worried. So I don't know. I'm going to add a little bit of shading in here. A little bit of shading inside that part. of that seal face. And there's shading in here too. Just a little bit of shading on that part, just really slight. And there we go. That's that seal. Hopefully that gets your seal of approval, but it's there we go. I don't know. Let me see if I can find a better seal or a cartoon seal. Somebody wanted to draw. Somebody liked it, so let's see. Let's see if we can draw. Find a good seal online somewhere. Just really quickly. Seal cartoon. Bam. Here we go. That's cute. Images. But these weren't submitted, so oh Yahoo. I don't know, Yahoo search. Actually, it's not bad. I guess they've improved their image search. Which one do I like? All right, let me see, share my screen. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Usually Yahoo, oh, look at that, those eyes. Similar to what we just drew right now. Kind of like this one, actually. That one's kind of cute. All right, I'm going to draw this one really fast. Getty Images. I'll put it in the chat. Copy image address. So this will be really quick. This is good. Copy image. Copy image. Nope. Save image address. Oh, it's not going to work. I'm going to have to go back over to the chat. And then we'll draw the chameleon right after this one. We'll draw the chameleon after this one. I'll do a screenshot. There we go. There we go. Draw the chameleon. I think I can simplify the chameleon too. All right, here we go. Let's draw this one. All right, here we go. So the body. Okay, the body's kind of like a circle shape. Here we go. Let me zoom out. The body's kind of like a circle shape. We're going to start with a circle for the body. Because then from here, the head is attached up here, right? I'm going to draw another circle for the head up here. Now, this is once we start two shapes, that's where proportions start really coming in. How big is this circle compared to this circle, right? Because that circle kind of, let's say, goes onto the body here and then curves out. Kind of like that. Kind of like this pear shape. It's kind of like a pear shape. Looks like a pear shape. Yeah, that's what's happening here. You get this pear shape. All right, so that's what's happening here. So you have a circle and this other circle up here, which I just kind of lost while I put this pear shape together. Notice the spacing in here. So if your neck is too long, you're going to get that horse or cow problem, or giraffe. You know, it's that spacing. It's called placement, right? Your proportions might be right, but the placement might be wrong. You know, the spacing. So how big this is compared to how big this is. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and this seal looks like it has a face to it. I'm going to focus on the face. There's an oval in here and it's sideways. There's a slight angle to it and it comes out. You want to notice this overlapping. Notice this overlapping, how this oval kind of goes in here and it's overlapping right in there. All right, let's erase this part here. All right, pretty good eraser. That's it. And then you have one eye right in here and then another eye right in that space. Right, and then you have a cheek that's in there. Right. And I'm going to erase all this now. Right. So let me slow down. I'll go ahead and stop this right here. So there's an oval that's in here and I put the eyes in there. Now let me zoom in. And it's okay if it's all scribbly like this. It's just a sketch. You can always get another sheet of paper and put it on top and then redraw it nicer if you'd like. But you really want to get used to sketching and scribbling. That's what you want to get used to. And then the drawing will come in time. You just got to see how everything all fits, all these shapes, how they all fit, and the angles. And if you don't worry about it too much, you just draw, you know, and just worry about it a little bit. I'm not saying not to worry about it. You do kind of like, okay, but don't beat yourself up. People beat themselves up because things aren't perfect. Nothing's perfect. No matter how much you try, it's not going to be perfect. So, you know, you'll get really close to it. If you want to get really close, you can actually do squares, grids. We can talk about that some other day. Grid drawing, look that up. GRID, grid drawing, and that will get you more accurate. It's more technical, but it'll get you more accurate. All right, here we go. So we're just sketching. All right, so here's our sketch, our oval. The mouth comes in here. Here's the mouth, the end, and then it comes around this part, up and over. He kind of looks like he's got a smile, but I don't know, it's really weird. And then this cheek goes around it like that, right in there. So there's that cheek. There's this snout or the nose. I guess it's the nose that comes up and around like that shape. And then on this other side, just echoing that cheek, we're going to have this other cheek on this other side, just kind of coming around like that. It's behind that form, this form of the nose, right in there. Let's get some whiskers. 1, 2, 3. And some whiskers on this side. 1, 2, 3. Notice how I'm going darker. Once I know where my drawing is, I go darker. This is still my sketching. I kind of go dark. I would probably go lighter than this if I'm just sketching. But once I know where everything's at, notice I just go really dark, and all my sketching looks like shading. See, it looks like shading now, right? Once I know where my lines is, I can like, okay, boom, this is where I want it. I can go dark right in here. I can go really dark right in there. That's part of that nose. And then here we go. We're getting that angle. And this nose goes right in here, another oval. There's an oval shape right in there for that nose. And inside that nose is another oval. And that's really dark right in here. And there's that highlight, but that highlight's not white. It's just slightly gray. So I'm going to slightly shade that gray. There's the nose. There's the nose. Let's do the eyes, then the body. All right, so here we go. Let's do the eyes. The bottom part of the eye, like that. Bottom part of the eye. And then the top is rounded. The top is like an oval shape, rounded up and over. Attached there. Same thing on this side, just a little bit smaller, attached right in there. Oh, there it is. There's the eyes. Let's add the pupils. They're also little ovals, but they've got highlights in them, so try to keep a little white part of the eye right in there. Same thing here. There's an oval, a little bit overlapping. It goes underneath that. There's an oval here, and then an oval inside that. That's the highlight. There it is. There's my eyes. All right. All right, so this is the top of the head now. Up and over. I'm cutting it in a little bit. Go up and over. Up and over around all this shaded part. Look at that. There it is. Let me zoom out a little bit. There it is. You've got his head. Here's his body. I'm going to add a little bit more body on here. Here's another oval attached to this oval right in here. And then on top of that is the tail that kind of comes up in here. So there's kind of like an oval part of that shape, because this is form already. This is actually already getting into form. We're going to add another little part for the tail. Try to get the lines to flow. Notice how they flow onto that shape. And then that tail kind of zooms out. Yeah, this is not easy. I don't know. These are not simple shapes. These are forms already. So if you're struggling, that's okay. It's okay. Don't give up. Quitters don't win and winners don't quit. All right, just got to keep at it. Keep at it. You'll get it. You'll get it. Before you know it, it's like pickleball. You just get it. It's like, oh, wow. Really, all those rules. We just started doing pickleball. So there we go. See, I just got that shape. It's just really like a half moon shape, another half moon shape. Learning to see all these shapes and how they're put together. See all that, and that's what's happening here. And see how this kind of just comes out there and there. And they don't draw the whole thing. This is just this little part that suggests this roundedness there. All we need is the flippers. There's going to be one in here. I can sketch it in. There's going to be one there, and then another one over here, kind of holding himself up. You see these oval shapes right in here. I can simplify it just by putting this oval shape. It gives me the angle, gives me the size, and the placement. Now I can go ahead and attach those, because there's more to it. It's not just an oval. Now I can attach that though, but watch this little journey. I have my placement, where how it's going to go and how it's going to fit. Now watch this. I'm gonna there could be another circle here, but watch this. I'm gonna go around here, because this is how that fin is attached. It kind of comes up, then it comes to a point. And then this side is kind of rounded, and then comes back up and swirls right in there. See it? So that's it. That's right there. That's that the little flippers. And then same thing on this side. This side's just cut into it, and it goes to a point. There it goes. That's it. Bam. There's our seal. All right. And all this can be shaded. I can shade all that and keep all this outside. Be good practice. And you can see actually that there's different shadings on this. There's to really give it some form. And there's that shade that kind of comes up this way. If you look at the drawing that we're copying, there's this right in here, like a moon, crescent moon shadow, all in here. Right there. That's it. And this would be in shadow. And then shadow again. There we go. Practice, practice, practice. You got to practice, practice, practice your drawing. This is probably a little intermediate to advanced, but it's all good. Intermediate, I would say. All right, next one. Oh, yes, the chameleon, the chameleon, the chameleon. Comma, 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 chameleon. There we go. The chameleon. All right, so let's share my screen. There we go. Let's do this chameleon. All right, here we go. Finally, we're here. Something in the chat. Culture Club. Yeah. Let's do the little chameleon here. The Culture Club flashback from the 80s. Like it's here. Ooh, let's go with a different color. Let's go with yellow or something lighter, because this picture's so dark. Yeah, yellow or even white. See, like this is going in and out, but this can be like straight up and down. Notice how this just comes straight up and down. And here, I could almost do that. Straight right in there. And then you can almost see this, almost this triangle there. See, that's the thing. If you notice those angles and see that shape there. See, this is that angle. That's probably really close to that. Even though that comes out here, and there's probably this other half. This part right there. You want to be able to see these big shapes. And I could probably cut this off a little bit more. And then I would probably put that circle in here, that circle right in there for that eye. That eye is going to be right about in there. Right about there. And we go back to a line for the mouth. The mouth goes from this point out here and then down. Yeah, you want to be able to see these shapes. Right, and then here, this is, then you can get the curves. That curve, the curve of the body. Hopefully that helps. And you can see these angles here. These angles. See how thin this one is here, and then it gets wider here. And then you have this shape here. All right. Thank you for joining us. I don't know, a little tough night tonight. I don't know, the drawings were a little tough. That's why I got to get the course together, so you can just go through the course. Sometimes, and that's the thing with practice. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's great. Sometimes it's not so good. Tonight, I feel like it's a little bit of a struggle. Or the drawings are a little bit on the challenging side. I feel like I'm not getting them across. These are challenging drawings. But here we go. Let's do this. All right, let's put this in the chat. Oh, let's screenshot this. There we go. Capture, put it in the chat. There we go. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Let's do this chameleon. This chameleon. Come on, come on. All right. Ooh, I don't remember. Okay, so I know there was kind of like a straight line I had here, and then this angle here. I can see it, but I didn't draw it. I didn't keep it. And I know there's this I can see this a little bit of a gap up here. So this if I were to draw that triangle, continue it, these two angles here. This is straight up and down. This is this angle here. And then from here, the mouth goes down. So hopefully that kind of helps. That helps. So you're getting these angles and this spacing, this shape in here with these triangles. This is almost straight up and down. This comes out that much. If you're getting your angles too far open or too close, this angle, you know, it's you know, this is straight up and down. If I go straight across, this is almost like this is a 45-degree angle. If you get that 45-degree angle, that would be good. So let's see, let's do that with angles. So this is straight up and down. This is straight across. This is actually like a 45-degree angle. Like if we were to get this paper and here, put it this way, and then fold it in half this way. This is 45 degrees because that's 90 degrees. And here's 45. There you go. See, look at that. Right on that. Half of that. Right? Fold it in half. There's that 45-degree angle. So that's pretty good. See, that'll get you there. That'll get you halfway there. And then we just cut off a little bit of that tip. And you can see how big this is right in here, right? Right. I can actually almost go into that space. And then here, there's a little bit of a lip. And here there's this space in here. So half of the battle is learning to see space and learning to see these forms, right? That's half the battle. Then the detail goes on top of that. Because once you see these forms and how everything fits, these big shapes, not worrying about the detail, you want to see the big shapes and then seeing how this fits. Like even this whole arm kind of could all be one big triangle that's right in here. And this hand that's right in here, it's going to be right in there. You want to be able to see the big shape. See, that's the outside, and then here's the inside. But if you see this triangle here, that's where that arm kind of goes. See, and then you see the inside shapes. There we go. And then the body kind of is rounded on top of that. Rounded on top of that. And then the bottom part of that body is kind of straight. And then we don't see what's happening back here. There's another leg that's here. And another foot that's right in there. Kind of like that. And I don't know, I think I'm just going to bring it down. I don't know what's going on back here, but. And then another arm sticking out. But see, once we have this big, looks like a dunce cap. This triangle that's straight up and down here, and then this angle 45 degrees. And then that. And then this arm that just sticking out right in here. It's sticking out from that spot. And then down to a hand. And I'm just making it a simple circle, seeing how big it is and how it's going to fit right in there. And then I can break that into parts. And there it is. That's it. That's it. Let's put in the medium-sized shapes. We got the big shapes. Let's go medium-sized shapes like the eye. The eye kind of goes in here. It's circle shape. That circle shape right in here. Right in there. And then that kind of brings out our other side over here. That other eye is facing the other way. We don't really see it, but it's going to be kind of right in there. All right, so I'm going to zoom in on the face and just do the face, but you can see how I just kind of blocked everything in pretty quickly. Let's do this face. Zoom in here. There it is. There's a lot of little detail, a lot of little really interesting detail. I'm going to try to get that eye first. I like where it's at. I like the placement. And there's even like a nostril right in here. There's a little bit of a nostril. I'm going to put that nostril right in there. Right in there. That's good. And then the oval shape, it's kind of like an almost circular. It's not actually, yeah, it's way up on top right in there. And it's pretty dark. I don't think there's a highlight, but there's like I don't know. Like it's like you can see inside it, but it's up on top right in there. I'm going to go ahead and draw a little bit darker up here, darker, bring that around. And then it's got all these little details, little circles. I can kind of put them in, if you can scribble them in, but you don't have to. Just trying to get that circle shape. This side, rounded shape right here on this side is rounded. And then here, because it's inside, but it's really round. I'm really kind of doing some observational stuff and kind of like even straightening this bottom part out a little bit because it is inside the head, even though it turns around like a ball, a sphere, but it's set inside. It's set inside the head. All right, so there's that eye. And now, even if you didn't get your thing right, your drawing right, this should be a circle, right? This should be a circle. And then there's a a lid that kind of goes over it. And a lid kind of goes over it. And kind of goes over. And like that. There's like an eyelid, eyebrow. Kind of goes over, right over it like that. And then we've got a little bit of a thickness to it. I'm going to bring it over. See, I'm not doing it right against there. Bring it a little bit over and then bring it over to this other eye that's on the other side. You don't see it. It's facing that other way. And then it comes down and then it goes on to this here. All right, we'll see you next time. Thank you for joining us. This actually is coming out pretty good. Regular here. Thank you for joining us again. All right. And then there's a little bit of lip. There's a little bit of lip. So I don't know if you want to try to get that little bit of a lip, a little bit of a bump in there. And then the mouth, he's like a really serious chameleon. Comes in straight, and right when it comes in here, it kind of comes down right in there. It comes down a little bit and back. A little bit down and back. A little complex, but there it is. That's that half. And then this bottom half. I'm going to stick it out just a little bit. See, I'm going to bring it out just like a little bit of a lip. Slight lip in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of thickness, bring it in and out. Like a little bit of a thickness. So what I'm doing is this, kind of like that. I don't know what that looks like, but that's what's happening right in here. And then I'm going to kind of bring that back on this, I'm doing it lightly, but I'm going to bring this back. Now what's happening here, there's a lot of texture. I'm just going to get the feel of that just by putting little triangles on the bottom. I'm just going to go with little triangles on this little bottom right in here. Just to get the feel of it. Notice that, the little feel right on that as it comes back over and then just back up in here. There you go. That's it. Let's do the top. Bring that up and around. It's got like a little bald head. Looks like a little alien. There, that's that. Not too shabby. That's pretty good. He does have these like little, if you want to kind of slightly suggest these little roundedness, like going and just keep going around. They're little scales, or I don't know, but that really make it look like a chameleon by adding these little ripples around. There we go. I've got my nostril. That's it. Go. Let's get that hand in here now. Parallel lines, 2 parallel lines. Then this hand is really just a simple kind of like a claw. I'm going around that outside circle, a little bit like a claw. I don't know what's going on in there. I'm just going to get that feel. And then here, so it looks like there's 3 fingers. I'm just going to go 1, 2, and 3. And again, this is just practice drawing hands. If you haven't practiced drawing hands, it's going to be a little hard. There's parts to it and all kinds of stuff going on. A lot of little things I'm doing here, which I'm not explaining. I'm just doing it. So if your hands come out whack, it's okay. If they come out whack, don't have a heart attack. Just hang in there. You got to practice drawing. It just means you got to practice drawing hands. You're not going to draw hands well until you practice drawing them. Right, but you see, you break it down. Here's the big shape, right? I'm going to break this hand down. There's a big shape. There's a thumb on one side. And then all these, there's like 2 fingers on this other side. And they just fit like that. See how easy I make it look. It's just, this is years of practice right here. Bam. Let's see. And then it just gets smaller as it goes up. And then it's kind of attached right there. And it's a little not as pointy. I'm going to make it rounded, more rounded at the corner. There we go. Bam. Coming along, coming along. There's a lot of shading and other stuff I can do. And even on the back of this line, there's kind of like, just like how I did the bottom of that, I can add more these little kind of scales, like just on top of it, because that's what's happening back here. And it gets really small and kind of gets lost back there. Oh, they do kind of have a tail. Don't they have like a tail that kind of winds? I don't know. It's not on here. It does have like a little tail that winds. All right, let's get these other little toes. There's 3 of them here. 1, 2, 3. And then it's got a little bit of a palm, I guess. And then it just goes back. And all this can be colored in or shaded. If you color it in, that would be cool. Color it in to make it look more like a chameleon. But that's not too bad. That's like a drawing of, or a sketch. Let me see if I can find a chameleon. Chameleon, lizard. Yeah. Oh, there's no tail. Oh, it's just a tail. Okay. Let's look at images. Hey, they've gotten better. Wow, I like these images now from Yahoo. I've always had trouble with them. We're down to 9 people here tonight. Hardcore heroes. Here's some more chameleons. Yeah, see, look at it. Does spiral. Does spiral. Look at this one, spirals. Oh, so it kind of comes out. Oh, I see that now. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's not too bad, actually, what I have here. So this would kind of attach to itself, and then maybe here. And then we can actually add this tail. That kind of like just spirals. Doesn't have to be complete tail. Yeah, the thing is with this tail now is this is a whole other challenge. And it kind of comes up. The challenge here is getting it thick to thin. See, we're not just drawing lines, we're drawing shapes. This shape is thick here, and as it comes down, it tapers down as it comes down and gets smaller as it gets in there. It gets smaller. And I'm going to shade it slightly so you see what is the chameleon and what is not. That'll kind of help as it gets bigger here, as it goes around. There's our chameleon. All right. There's my drawing. All right, let's see what's next. Ooh, that buffalo. We got a flower, buffalo, cats, lion, elephants, a face, a skull. All right, let's see. Any requests? All right, let me see. Let's go back over here. I think we're gonna do the buffalo. The buffalo is really good. I don't know if this person is here. Again, you can draw at your own pace. If you drew more than one seal.
Yes, I am here.
The buffalo. Oh, great. All right, let's do this buffalo then. All right. What fascinated you about the buffalo? Just the picture is actually really interesting. Where did it go? There it is, that one. Oh, yes. Swan, it's you. All right, cool. All right, so let's see. Let's break this one down. Let's break down this buffalo. I see the circle for the head and the circle for the mouth, the nose, and you can see the relationship of those two. If you can get that, that's half the battle right there on this drawing. So let's see. Here we go. Let's draw the big shape, this big circle in here. I'm gonna use circles, but there's a circle like here for the head. And it goes in and out and all kinds of stuff, but really the big shape you can see is in here is just that circle shape for that head, right? There's a lot of detail and stuff, but you can see how the antlers or they're antlers, right? They go on top of that. And then we have another circle for the nose. And what's important is the relationship of these two. This relationship, how big this one is compared to that one. Let's compare the both of them a little bit more. You can see it's bigger than half this. It's a little bit bigger than half the top circle. And then it's off to an angle. Oops. It's off to the side a little bit right in there. Right in there. See how it overlaps? That's it. And then we can take that. You can see the eyes right above the middle. And there's a slight slant. So if I go here now, you can see these eyes right there. And the middle was right about there. Ooh, look at that too. This circle is like right on that middle line as well. Let me see if that's true. Yep. See, that's the middle right there. And you can see this circle right off that middle and how it fits in there. But having that right in half really helps. Notice that, how that helps. Ooh, let's break this one in half as well. Oops, so where's my line? Ooh, right there. Break it in half this way. Look at that. That should help a little bit more. I don't feel so much, but yeah, right there. You can see how it fits like that right in there. And that's good. The eyes in there. Then the oh, these could be circles too. Yeah. Watch this. Right in there. Look at that. Damn, this one's more like an oval. But let's do that. I can stretch it out, but here, there it is right there. Oh, this is a little further out. Look at the spacing. But ooh, let's measure these two circles together. They're looking pretty, they're the same. Now, this is what enveloping really does and helps. Okay, so I'm going to envelope this or try to see this bigger shape. By connecting this, see, now I can see this as another shape. This kind of will help you get that. And see this angle here and seeing this. I mean, there's things going on here. There's a bump in here and stuff. But you can see this kind of helps, should help. All right, I'm going to go ahead and let's put that in the chat and then draw that. There we go. We'll put that one in the chat. And then we'll try it one more time without anything. All right, and let's get going on this one. Oh, there's a cute little bird on there too. Ooh, it's been a long day. Here we go. Let's do this. Buffalo, 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 buffalo gal, won't you come home tonight? Come home tonight. Come home tonight. Yeah, because just once you block everything in, let's do it in blue. Once you block everything in, this is just kind of blocking everything in. See, here's that circle. Break it in half. Break it in half. And then here is this other circle that kind of comes out a little bit, but kind of fits in this space. See how it fits in there? It's going to be right in there. Even if, even if you're off by a lot, you can't be off by that much. Even if you don't get the detail, all the detail, this is the proportions are going to look really good. And then you got some ears, which I didn't talk about coming out here, but I can see the spacing here, the spacing, and then one circle over here. And let's say I'm just going to guess where it's at. I'm going to put it somewhere right there. And then this other circle over here, watch my spacing, say over here, I'm going to guess where it's at. But now I can use these angles, this is from the top, and I can say, okay, I need to bring it up a little bit more because this angle tells me this should be up a little bit higher. And then from here, maybe this should be up a little bit higher as well from this angle. See, because I'm going from the bottom of the mouth coming up, and maybe I can bring it up a little bit higher. And here, let's go back up this way. And I'm looking at this angle. Then I'm looking at this angle here. It's pretty close to there. That's right about there. And these two are about the same size. That's where those horns are, the horns. And the horns are coming off the top of this head. All right, that's it. Now I kind of blocked it in. There's this angle here for the body. And this, there's the back of the body and other stuff going back here, but it's pretty much straight. And then we have one ear in here, which I didn't really draw, but it should be fitting in here. I can see the ear. See, I can put this oval shape for that ear. And there's a lot of, that's an ugly ear. Oh my gosh. But it's in there. An ear only a mother can love, but it's in there. See, I can see how big it is and how it's going to fit in there. All right, let's do this. All right, here we go with the detail. Let's zoom in. I'm going to start with the face. And here we go. I'm going to start with this face. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So you should have two circles, this one circle and this other circle. Now this eye, it's going to go in here. It's a really interesting eye. And again, you have to practice drawing eyes. It's really a sphere inside here. So I'm going to draw these two lines right here, because it's kind of inside this space right here. It's inside that space, right under the middle. Did I say under the middle or on top? Oh, let me look back. Oh, it's on top. Yeah. It's above. So that's off a little bit. So even if you do it right there, it should be up a little higher. Not a big deal. See, you're going to see it. Even if it's not even that close, it's still going to look good. This is the general area it should be in. Right where that middle is. It should be up above it a little bit, but it's not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and get that roundedness on the outside. And then there's a little dark point for that pupil. Right there. And then on top of that, there's an eyelid. There's a little bit of an eyelid. So I've got this oval shape, this shape, and then there's an eyelid that kind of goes over it right in there. There's an eyelid right there. All right. Good night. Sweet dreams, sweetness. All right. There's that one eye in that place, right? And here's this brow. The brow kind of comes up and around right in there like this, like that. See, now we're kind of getting these specific shapes and how they fit on there. There's a little bit of a brow, that form that's on there. And then here, a little bit of a cheek shape. See, I'm going around there. That's the brow. And then here, a little bit of cheek shape. And then here, this is where that muzzle of that nose is, that muzzle. So let's go ahead and see that muzzle. That muzzle is a couple of shapes that we're going to break it in half right in here. Kind of breaks up in here. Well, it should be going into that circle. My proportions are going to be off a bit, but it's okay. Should actually be going up a little higher, right up in there, according to that picture. But you see, even if you're off a lot, it's not going to be that bad, because this is where that circle, cutting that in half, that mouth, I'm giving it a little bit of shape, but it's just basically an upside down like that. What pencil? Oh, is this a 3H? I noticed there was a difference. This is a different pencil. It was lighter. Here it is. Here's my Ticonderoga. Yes, it's a little bit darker. So here's the eyebrow, that eye ridge. Yeah, I got the wrong pencil. It was a 3H. All right, here we go. And here's this roundness of that mouth. Oh, now that it's light, it's hard for it to go dark again. Over on top. Now here's the nose. There's some nostrils in here. The nostrils are like these circle shapes. These circle shapes here. Now there's a lot more to it than just circle shapes. I am simplifying it a lot, but depending on what level you're at, you want to see how, there's a lot of little nuances in there, but just simplifying it to circles is good. But as you really learn to see all this detail and see how it's really connected, you can start putting that detail in. Like here, this side of the nostril is going to be dark. Then it kind of comes out. And there's a lot of different little shading things going on here. That's why I like kind of cartoons when we draw cartoons, because it's already simplified. Everything's kind of simplified for us. The top of the nose, kind of, there's a little bit of a dip in it, a little bit of a dip. It's not a perfect circle. There's like a little bit of like a cow nose. It's not a perfect line. Yeah, but it goes there. And if you're doing the shading, it kind of just shades like right in there. Like that. Yeah. And that's form that's happening in there. You shade the inside of this nostril. Go. Then same thing with the shading. It's all the way that's shaded. It's all this is really shade. Let me see if I can go a little bit lower and darker. Keep that darkness. And then see this whole bottom jaw kind of comes down. It's attached, but it's the shape, half circle, but then it's attached down here to some kind of neck. See, this just helps us with the blocking in. This blue line is way off, but it should be like in there to get that feel. All right, let's go back up and finish up the face, and then we'll go into the rest of the body. Yeah, because I want to make sure that the face kind of looks good. I'm gonna go darker. Yeah, these drawings tonight are kind of challenging, I think. I think they're challenging. Hard to explain. You know, I know when I'm like trying to explain it, it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if people are getting it. These are for a beginning. This is kind of tough. Kind of tough to get these really complex shapes and the way they're put together. See, even this thickness of this, I'm gonna thicken this up, this part, thicken that part, should be a little bit thicker for that eye. Yeah, it's just those little things. Then over here on top of this side, I'm gonna do the other eye way over here. Just like I hear these little circles, there's an eye over here. Watch, there's this big part of the eye that was kind of like right in here. I see this big shape right in here. And then the eye that's like that, just like that, it's going to be right in here, right in there. So there's two parts to this. It's the eyelid. That's the dark part that kind of goes around it. And then there's the eye, which is that circle part. That's kind of like underneath it. But that eyelid kind of goes there. I'm going to kind of round it there. And then the eyelid around it. I don't know how, I'm not explaining it that well. This is a drawing from a picture. But there it goes, something like that. There you go. What is this? So what I'm doing here, let me, I guess, try to clarify what's happening. I've kind of got the eye, the eye's a circle shape, right? And then I've got the eyelid going up and over it. And then there's a thickness to it. There's a thickness to it because it's in shadow. Kind of like that. That's what's happening. And then I'm getting this part, that part, and then the rest kind of just, there's like wrinkles in here too as well. And then there's a dark part. That would probably be just a little shade. Kind of trying to get that, but that's actually more detail than I have here. I would probably soften that up. There we go. So I'm just softening that up in there to get that shape. That's what's happening there. See that eyelid and then the eye shape. So mine's more of an oval. And then maybe little wrinkles for the, there's a lot of wrinkles. And even all this is kind of like a wrinkle. Shade and shapes. It's kind of like a cow. Well, that's what it is. It's kind of like they're related. They're bovines, I believe. Bovines. Buffalo. Or I don't know, what is this thing? Some kind of buffalo. So there's the eyes. And a little bit more lid to that one. Yeah, they're related to cows. Here we have another ear in here. You can see the ear. These ears are funky. All right, here we go. Let's do this ear. I can see the way this is attached. Here, this ear is, there's two parts to it. There's that part. I'm happy with that oval. You can see that like that part, and then this oval part. And then all this little, like it was taking, like Mike Tyson was here taking little nibbles on this ear. So it's like there's a little bump in here, cut out. And this is where blind contour drawing kind of helps. I mean, I'm just getting the feel of it. Just going around in there and getting that. See, I'm not being exact. And then there's the inner part of the ear. This is the inner part of the ear, which is going to be darker. And then the outer part of the ear, not as dark, but dark. That pushes back from that space right in there. There's like wrinkles and stuff. I mean, this is all just detail, which I can do really quickly. See, I'm just sketching it in really quick. Bam, look at that. A few quick lines. If you blink it, you miss. But if you watch the video, you can rewind it, play it, and see, wow, how did he do that? Like magic. It's just practice. It's just doing it. It's hard to explain every little stroke, every little thing that I'm doing, but I'm breaking it down. You get the idea. You see that oval shape, and then I just went in and out. I saw that indentation. I'm not drawing it exactly. I mean, if you put it side by side, it's not exact, but it's really close. All right, so here we go. Here's the horn. You can see this roundedness. I know it goes there, so I can see this negative space right in there. It goes here, flows. It flows around here. This horn up in there at the top of this, then it comes in, and I can see how it would curve in there. Get that feel. And up and on top of the head. Up on top of the head, just like that. See, it looks good. I don't know what you have. I wish I can walk around, draw something, stop, and walk around and help you. That would be the most ideal classroom setting. But I can, you know, that's the thing. I wish I could actually. I don't know if you want to. Somebody had their camera set up like that once. They had their camera set up, and I could see them drawing. And I can see, and then I can make comments, but like, oh, okay, make sure you have this, or slow down, speed up. I don't know, maybe we can have a date where we have you set up your cameras like that, or what you would need to have a setup like that. So then I can see what you're doing. I can put it in gallery view. Maybe that would be the next iteration of intermediate to advanced drawing. If you want to do that, actually, that sounds like a good idea. It's just an idea. All right, so that way I can help people better, and I can see where you're struggling, because it is about the struggle. You're going to struggle, and the thing is not to give up. Or don't give up. You'll get it. If I can see you struggling, I can see, okay, oh, do this, do that. But struggling is good, because then you really appreciate. You know, everybody says, oh, I don't know, God-given talent. You know, God gives us the trees, but we have to do something with it. You know, I don't know. Everybody says, oh, you were born with it. You were born with it. And we're all born with these abilities, I believe. It's just, you know, taking it to the next level. Like I just shaded all this without talking about it. That whole horn is in there. Look at that horn. Look at that face. Only a mother can love. All right, let's see where we're at. Give me a second. All right. Ooh, 912. Let's see. It's not looking bad. It's looking pretty good. There's a lot of shading and stuff that I can still do in here. All this little shading. Yeah, it's all shaded. Let's see. Let's get that other horn in there. And then the ear. The ear I know is going to be in here. Let me get that ear in here first. Again, there's two parts. There's like this part that's just slightly showing, and then this other part of that ear, and then it's just like close back and forth. It's like somebody chewed on it. Let me see if I can see. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to even see. I can just get that feel, and then all this stuff can be in shade. All this could be like in shade with the background just a little bit darker. See, all this could be in shade with the background just a little bit darker. And actually, I can go darker than that. And then all this hair in here. All this hair coming down. All this in darkness. All this, I'm just shading really quickly. See, I'm just putting shade. Scribble, scribble, scribble shade. See? And the face in here would scribble shade. Get all that. But then you really, if you want to get into the shading and value, you really have to squint your eyes. Really squint your eyes. See where it's dark. See where it's light. The patterns of dark and light. That's a whole other lesson. But yeah, because I can go darker. I should be going darker. All right, let's get that other horn in there. He looks majestic. Thank you. It's got a little. That ain't no bull. All right, here we go. All right, so the peak of that horn again up here on top, right at 12 o'clock, or right on the other side of 12. That's on this circle. See, I've got my circle here already. It's right in here, and then it curves around. Yeah, that's that's the privilege of staying here late. You get the jokes. I start getting a little lost in the drawing. All right, here we go. Here's that horn. The challenging part is to get it to go from thin to thick. When you're trying to get the shape, right? I'm trying to sculpt the shape or the form, and without making it look like a snake or like a hot dog like that. You don't want it to look like that. It has to kind of have that feel where it gets thicker. And you see, I can add even that mistake that I did up here as an example. I can see how I'm thickening it up as I sketch and add to it like pieces of clay, right? Without erasing. How much erasing did I do on this drawing? Zero. No erasing. No erasing. You want to practice your drawing. See, just like this. Practice your drawing. If you have to erase, yeah, no big deal. But you know, you don't have to erase as much as a lot of people do. You're just sketching it. You're just sketching. You want to just sketch. All right, here we go. Here's this whole darkness right in here. This kind of really pops that face up, and it brings that horn into view. This whole shadow part of this horn, this bottom half, like up in here, as it comes up in there. Little curls. Shading that on in. And there's reflected light. There's all kinds of stuff in here to play with, but no time to do it because it takes time. If you want to look at that and do that, that's great if you're there. Okay, there's a little bit of hump, like right in here. It's a little hump. And then all this isn't shaded. And then it kind of goes straight. There's a cute little bird on the side. Let me see if I can try to get it. It's like a finch. It looks like a finch. Some kind of finch. All this shaded. There we go. It's not looking bad. Let me see. Zoom out. Look at that. Holy cow. Here we go. All this is going to be shaded. See, all this is really good shading. Just get your pencil and just go sideways. All this is shade and shade. All this is a shade. You would have to take your time to do all this shading. There we go. Maybe get some of the texture and the shade and the stuff in here, scribbles. Just go in there, squint your eyes and say, oh, this should be a little bit darker. This should be a little bit lighter. Go in with your eraser too if you want. Just get the scribbles. This in here, like the texture in here, all this little detail. You can actually go in here and see a little bit of scribbles, darken all that up in there. Man, not too shabby. All right. That's I think that's pretty good. I don't know, one more drawing? All right, you guys are hardcore heroes here tonight. Hardcore heroes, hardcore warriors. All right, all right. Little happy face on the comment. I think that looks pretty good. All right, let's move on over to the next drawing. We have 8 of you here, 7. All right, I don't know. I'll take requests. Those of you who are here, hardcore or questions. We have a face that's we can draw. We have or anything else. You guys are here. I don't know, but these are the ones that were posted on the meetup. Let me share my screen. There it is. We got that. Oh, there's the bird. The bird. Look, it's just a tear shape, a little circle on the head. Oh, we did have flowers. We can do flowers, a cat, an angel. That angel's kind of hard to see. This lion is a little better. It's clear. The picture's clear. I don't know if Jane is here. These elephants are really cute. They're really small, but they've got some really good stuff to them. Let's see if I can get closer. Yeah, these are really great sketches. You can see how rough they are. They can scribble them in, and they find a really nice thick and thinness of line. Look at the thick and thin, the feel of this elephant. They're really getting it. Musical notes here, and just great gestural drawings. Really, really finding the shape, finding the form. Look at they were way out here, but then they brought it in. Boom, boom, just scribbling it in. This is fun stuff. No erasing here. It's all sketching, really quick sketching. Charlene,
Charlie Mackesy.
Oh, Charlene Mackesy.
Charlie Mackesy. He wrote The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and the Horse, the one they made into an animated movie.
Huh. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Charlie Mackesy.
It's a book.
Huh.
And he just was doing these sketches on Instagram. Super
Wow.
cool.
Charlie Mack. The books. There he is. Oh, super cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, The Boy, the Mole. That's great. That's good for images.
I tutor kids, and the kids really like the book.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, look at, yeah, it's very free, very easy going. I like that. Look at that. Really simple, just like simple lines. All right, let's see. Which one are we going to draw, though? We got this face challenge there. Willing to anybody put it in the chat? A skull.
I don't know. I like the cat or the skull.
You like the what or the skull?
Not the princess, please. No, no.
Not the princess. Okay, we got a nay vote on the princess.
Oh,
Okay,
please, no.
the skull or
No.
the what? The cat?
Well, any of the cats are cool.
Okay.
I put the princess because I liked her hat.
Oh. Oh yeah, the hat's just an oval. I was looking at that. If you
No, I
notice,
like the hat. The hat is cool.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
it's just an oval shape, which is pretty crazy. Which is a circle and it's plastered around there. All right, so we'll do the skull, and then I saw these petals. These are actually pretty neat. Oh, there's a lot of detail there. I think we'll do the skull and call it a night. It's kind of late, unless somebody's really has questions or anything. Let's see, copy image. Address. I'll copy the image. I'll post that first in the chat. Yeah. So there's some crazy angles and stuff in here. You're not really getting a true skull. 1,000-year-old burial site. Wow. It is shattered a little bit. The mouth, the mandible. You get some really interesting things in there. Let me put that in the chat. Let's see. Here we go. Everyone. paste. There we go. And then let's see. Oh yeah, I think once you open it up, you'll be able to see a bigger version of it. Open, copy, image, address. Here we go. Whoa, that's really big. That's it. Look at that. Yeah, there's a crack on that skull. See, this is if we're just doing observational drawing, we can draw by observing. But if we want to gain structural knowledge, the structure is not the ideal structure to kind of be copying from. It helps. Everything helps, but you know, you want to copy like a complete form. I'll try to point some stuff out, like if this were to continue. And we'll do that. All right, let's just do this. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. That's the best way to do it, is just do it. And that's the thing, you know, you just want to practice your drawing. Practice your drawing. We go at a certain pace here. Some might be going too slow, too fast sometimes. You just want to do it. And just do it and just keep practicing. See, usually this skull shape here, I'm going to start off with this oval shape. Right, because that would be the skull if we were kind of like continued this oval shape. All right, so in front of this oval shape here, I would say not quite half, a little bit on this other half. This is where this face part kind of is, and this is almost like a shield. Here's the nose, right in there. Then you have the socket, one socket here, and another socket over there. Now, what's important here is the size of everything, how it all kind of fits, right? How it all kind of fits. Then we've got the teeth that are going to be here, and then the mouth that's going to go from, because this is the cheekbone. The cheekbone goes beyond that. And then here's this whole jaw that's open. There we go. That's there like that. And there is that crack. That skull was cracked open, cracked. It's got a crack in it. Release the cracking right in there. All right. But you see how I just kind of got that shape in there. And then in here too, this is actually like an oval shape in here as well. These teeth kind of like going on that. And here's another oval shape, the bottom part, and it's kind of going back right in there into that mandible, the mandible. And seeing how big this is compared to that, it's a kind of, because it's kind of coming down, it's about that big. Then this cheekbone over here on this side, and that's it, just blocking out. I just kind of blocked out kind of how it's going to fit. Now I can go in here and get all the detail. Now I know how it's going to fit on my paper. And I'm going to go in here. I'm going to start off with this part of the eye right in here, because the nose kind of protrudes. It goes over in here. So this part right here, this is this dark part. I really want it to kind of be here, because this would kind of like be here like this. But then that nose crosses over. Let me zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. I already went dark. But that's this half like oval shape. There's this oval shape, but I stop right there because then the nose protrudes, it overlaps, kind of goes over a little bit and crosses over right in that shape, just like that. Crosses over, and then I'm going to draw this eye socket. I'm going to try to get this eye socket in here. I can kind of see the shape of it. It's like this. And then it kind of curves down. But I can see the height and the width, right? The height and the width of this. It's not square, it's a little, see, it's rectangular, and it's taller than it is wider, right? Is it taller or is it wider? It's taller, right? So that shape right in there. Then there's, but that's the shape right in there. That's the shape. And I can shade all that in. And that simplifies it. There's other stuff going on in there, but that's the shape. That's the shape that's right there. And there's light that hits it on this side, and then it gets darker on this side, right here, that thickness. And then it comes down, and then here is that cheekbone. That cheekbone that kind of comes around right in there. Let's bring this up and over. as it curves around right there, it curves around right there. So it hugs, it goes parallel right there. See how it goes parallel around that eye socket. And then here it goes up onto the skull. See, it breaks that parallel. Then it goes up onto the skull, up in here. I'm going to bring it up just slightly. And all my little oval shapes can be sketching. And it goes up in here and it's cracked. This is where it's really cracked. Right down the middle, there's like a crack. A little crackhead right here. It just comes down on this side of the nose, right in there. Slight angle. And it does open up as far as like the thickness of the line goes thin, thick, as it opens up down here, as it comes down. Then it goes up into this nostril, the nostril or the nose cavity. There's nose cavities up in here. I'm gonna just go dark, and it really is kind of like two, like this pear shape, like these two little ovals kind of going up like that. It's this pear shape, and it should go a little bit lower. I'm looking at this bottom here, and I'm looking here, so it should go maybe a little bit lower. Bringing it down. I'm seeing how it relates to this eye socket, but it's this kind of like pear shape that's there, and then it's really dark on this side, and then it gets lighter as it goes to the right. But in here, it's kind of dark, right at the edge, especially right at that edge. And then there's texture and all this other stuff. If you want to try to get all that texture, it's really just scribbles to get that texture. And I can go dark again here, bring that darkness. Because I want that to pop. Notice that it pops because I'm going dark on this side. And then I can bring it out, you know, a gradient, slowly shade it out. So I'm doing the same thing here. It goes dark and then it goes to light. Here it goes dark and then it goes to light. Right, I'm playing with the shades and the values. All right, there's that. And then let's get this other eye socket on this other side. If you want me to zoom out a little bit. You can see how it's coming together. Man, all these shapes and forms. All right, hardcore people. All right, good night. Thank you for joining us, Ken. This will be the last drawing, I believe. I don't know. Let's see. See who's left. We'll see who's here. All right, so now what's happening here is there's a lot of darkness in here. Even though I can kind of get that edge, all this can be lost in shading. You don't have to have a strong edge all the time. You don't. You can lose things. Things can get lost in shapes and lost in that that song by Air Supply. Get lost in love. All right, lost in the detail, lost in the flow. All right, so I'm going to try to get this other socket in here, this other socket. I might pull it. I'm looking back and forth. I'm going to see, I see I'm adding a little bit more to it. This part right here is the one I really like. And I'm seeing how it connects and how it adds to this other one. See right in here, this edge right in here. And I'm seeing how it all fits. And I'm not just seeing this shape, but I'm seeing how it fits in here and how it kind of looks. But yeah, this is probably the darkest part right in there, that edge right in there, which I just pulled out. And then it comes down and then it gets lighter as it comes in here. Right, but all this is shaded and there's a gradient. So it goes from here, it's dark right at the edge. And then as I'm bringing it over, I lighten it up. I lighten it up. Then here too, this has a sharp edge too at the bottom of this, right in here. There's a sharp edge right in here. Right in here, almost straight. It's almost straightens out right in here. Right edge, right in there too. That edge. See that angle? It's not like a perfect circle, a perfect oval. I notice how I don't know. It looks like a C, and as it straightens out right here on this bottom side. The trick is not to straighten it out too much and not to round it too much. It's that only comes with practice and seeing that how it fits in there. How that is. Oh, there's an eye socket in here. This is the actual, this is the point where the eye goes in. All this is bone. And then here your nerves and stuff goes into your brain right in here. Pretty crazy. This little hole right in here. And then all this, yeah, it's pretty wild. The human brain, it's the most complex thing in the universe so far, until, I don't know, this AI stuff is getting really complex. Oh, I haven't shared that one yet. I gotta go get that AI. I should share that at least for those of you who are here. I don't know if you're interested in AI stuff, but there's a really good website. All you got to do is type in what you want. And there it is. It videos too. I came across another one for a video, but this one does really good, and it's free. My best thing is free. It does all kinds of stuff that you want to see. It's amazing. I think it's IDEO. It's on my laptop. It's on my. I'll take a break and get it right now. It's on my iPad. All right. So here's the that temple. There's a little temple right in here. See, because I know it's there. It's hard to see, but it's there. It's this temple, and it's this thickness right in here. It's that temple. And then you come down here to the cheekbone. This is the cheekbone right here. This is the actual cheekbone. Cheekbone that comes in here. And then it curves up around, coming down onto those teeth right in there. And it's rounded. See, if you understand the form, then you kind of get the feel of it. But you kind of have to almost draw it quite a bit to get it. Here's the mandible. Here's that part there. All this is one bone. And then it comes out right in here. It comes out, comes down. And this part here is actually another oval, this oval shape. If you were to look down on it, if you look down at this jaw, it goes kind of round in here like this. This is jaw at this angle. Let's see, it going like that. This is jaw. But it's at an angle coming out this way. And this is an oval. So getting this little curve right in here. Then the teeth are going to be in here. I can kind of see the area where the teeth are. There's a lot of detail, but if I see them as one big shape first, then I can break it down into smaller shapes. But all those teeth are going to be in here. They kind of go back up in here because it curves up inside. And then the teeth up here, this is the bottom. And then the top part of the teeth, this whole area is going to be filled with teeth right in there. Right in there. There's a gap right in here. This gap of darkness. All this is dark in here. All that's dark. That darkness. Just in time for October, next month, Halloween. Woo. All right, not too shabby. It's looking pretty good. All right, hopefully I'm describing it good enough. All right, let's see. Kind of scary. All right, so here we go. I can see one tooth right in here. There's going to be one tooth right in there. I'm just sketching them in. Another tooth right about in there. And then another two teeth right in here. See, I'm just kind of putting them in where they kind of go. Another tooth over here. One there. And then I don't know. I see a big tooth right in here. There's a main tooth right in there. And I think I lost track. But that looks like one would fit in here. But there was like a main tooth there. And then another tooth like back here. These molars. Nobody's going to check. That's all. It depends on how accurate you want to get. I mean, you don't always have to be 100% accurate. It's just, it depends on the story you want to tell, what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do, what's your purpose. Are you observing, doing it for fun? It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be 100% exact. Like there's this tooth right here, and then it goes dark underneath this cheekbone. It's all dark in here. I mean, all this is dark. I mean, if you want to sketch this dirt, it's in dirt. All this is dark back here. All this, that really makes that skull pop because it's all in this dark dirt in the background like that. So by shading all that, it makes that pop. I can shade all this background. See? That skull all of a sudden just pops right there. If I do that with the rest of it too, it'll pop more. Then I can start adding more shading, like over this whole thing. See, I'm just shading this really quick. Shading this, it gets darker right in here because this goes, it curves, so it's going a little bit darker right in here. Pushing stuff back, pulling stuff in, pushing stuff more back. I want to do a little more shading. More shading on this side. Look at that. All right, let's get these teeth in here. Right in here. This one is big tooth. Right in there. And it goes all dark in here. All this is dark. I don't even have to draw those teeth, all of them. I'm just gonna, I kind of set them in there. But if I just get this whole darkness in here, and then see how this comes down. All right, ooh, it will be interesting to see how the laws eventually shake out around copyright. Yeah, with large creative AI models like Midjourney. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, we're going to be, it's going to be an ongoing thing. It really is. Unless you have like a style that is like so evident. I mean, that's really, and then everything is, I mean, everything's a mix. No man's an island. Everybody's copying everybody. Everybody's got their own kind of style, but I don't know. Definitely, there's certain things that you can probably copyright. Say, hey, that's my style when you do this, this, and that. It's definitely going to be an interesting few years. All right, let's see. A little bit of this jaw on this other side. Yeah, I got to get that thing so you can see it. Now, this mouth does go back up and in. I mean, you got to try to get that. That's the thing I'm trying to shoot here for. I'm trying to get that go in. And as it goes in. And then all this is in darkness, actually. Well, there's a little bit of, I'm going to actually even go darker because that's that background. See how I just even, no matter how dark you are, you can even go darker. I went darker just to make that jawline stick out a little bit more. Well, because it's all dark in here. There it goes. And all these teeth. Oh my gosh, there's one. Okay, I can see one main tooth. See, this one tooth right in here really sticks out for me, right in there. That's almost like an anchor tooth because I can see that, like, okay, that's right there. And then there's like these three that are right in here, which, well, there's one right there, but I can see these three that are kind of like right in here. Well, actually, probably would be four because they're all three of these are the same. Well, right in there. I'm just breaking it down. So I'm just breaking it down. And another one over here. Then we've got two more teeth right in here. It's like two more teeth right there, two teeth. And then we've got this, I don't know, definitely like a molar up in here. But I can just scribble it all in and say, okay, that defines it enough. I don't have to define it anymore. Depends on how much detail you want to put in there. We can spend time. That just takes time, really observing and seeing and seeing what's there. But we got it, the placement of it is pretty good. And you don't always, I mean, you understand that this is a skull. I mean, we have enough information here to say this is a skull. We don't have to get all the detail all the time. There's so much. Got to know when to call it quits. You got to know when to stop. That's sometimes the hard part. Like, okay, that's enough. That's good enough. And depends on what you're trying to say, right? I always remember my sister. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to help her with solve word problems. And I said, draw it out, draw it out, Instead of drawing, she had a George Washington problem. Who knows? He crossed the river, who knows what year. But she was on there drawing. I go, no, just do a stick figure. And there, that's George Washington. You got to know what, the purpose is and what, you're not going to, by the time, she spent all her time drawing George Washington. So we got to know what the purpose, what is your reason? Are you observing? Are you drawing for fun? Are you just getting the feel of it? See, we don't have to draw all these teeth. I can just put it all in shade. I can just say, okay, let's put it all in shade right in here. This is the important part. What's important? What's important? What do you want to say? What do you want to show? See, just get the feel of it and just, okay, oh, that's like hidden shadow right in there. And then we have all this shadow up here. And we got this crack over here, this open skull. Yeah, that's broken in. And then this other part of that skull up here. Skull is cracked. Another piece of that skull. There's a thickness to it. Kind of like a coconut shape. And all kinds of other stuff going on. We just scribble it all in. Bam, bam. All right, let's zoom out. Look at that. It's coming along. Not too shabby. And you got all these other bones in here too. You can just scribble them in. You can just suggest them, right? We've got this important stuff. Look at these teeth are just suggested. Everything's just suggested. We can suggest this collarbone or this other parts in here. They're in here. See, I'm just suggesting them. I know these shapes that are in here, the vertebrae. It's back in here. If I want to get a little more shading, make them stand out more, depends on how much I want it to stand out. There's a collarbone, clavicle, right up in here, kind of going up in there. That's that clavicle. I can shade it out, shade it in, see how much I want to show. All right, and that's the scapula right in here, blowing up. There's not the femur, the humerus. Oh, funny. There we go. And all this dark up here makes that skull pop at the top. All that shading. So, all this is shaded in here too. All right, there's software preventing AI models from taking your art, by the way, called Glaze. If you don't want AI to use your art without your consent right now, they don't have to ask. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild, but yeah, you have to almost have a style. Oh, there's one. This is Caber. Caber is really good. Caber. Yeah, that's the one I'm playing with, Caber. Oh, it's not. It's right there. That's Caber. So Kaiber. I don't know if I have to register or log in. I haven't played with that one. The other one I was playing with, where's it at? Where is it at? It wasn't Caber. Well, let me see if I find it over here. I have all these tabs. I think it was in this one. Oh yeah, close that. Pika? No, it's not Pika. Pika's another one. Pika's a Pika art.art is another one I'm kind of messing with. Pika Labs. This is the one that does video. That's all AI right there. Powerful text to video. That's the one. Pika Labs. That's text to video. See, just type in text, and this is all AI generated. Oh, that's all AI. Pika Labs. Where's the other one at? Oh, this is my chat bot. Oh,
So you buy the text at Pika Labs and it translates that into a video. Do you give it a style or?
Yeah, you can tell it. You can give it a style. You can tell it what it to look like. Oh wow, where's it at? I was saving it for you guys. I know. Let me see if this is it. No, that's my student aid stuff I was working on. Oh, here it is. Ideogram. That's it. Ideogram. That's it. Ideogram.ai. This is, oh yeah, this is it. This is it. Ideogram.ai. I did that. I was playing with it. Let me see. Here we go. This is it. Ah, here we go. Look at that. That is insane. And then look at, they wrote, you can see their prompt. Young man of 1.92 riding a black enduro motorcycle climbing a mountain range. 3D. Okay, create a pattern of candies, ice cream cups, cakes, 3D render, fashion, illustration. Look at that. So it's ideogram.ai. And we can do them up here. Look at, we can just put it up here. I don't know, colorful clown. Colorful clown doing what? Drawing himself, I guess. And that's going to be hard. I don't know if he'll be able to do it, drawing himself. And it comes up pretty quick. You can put any prompt. Oh, it does lettering, which is really cool. Oh, there he is. He's not drawing himself, but yeah, there's a colorful clown. Yeah, look at that. And it takes a little while, 79%. It'll clear up. There he goes. Look at that. Different styles. He's drawing. He's got a pencil. Ugly clown. Look up. Yeah, that's insane. But you can see there's probably a signature or something, like it's thinking. Copying something, somebody's work. Yeah, I mean, it's really controversial. What's good about this one, Ideogram, is that they actually do really good on lettering, and the hands are getting better. No, the hands are still funky. Make my wallet great again. Yeah, oops. Yeah, let's see, Taz. Okay. And you can see what they wrote. Logo and building say Taz, unity. See, it says Taz on the building. Stay strong, keep going. See, this one does really good with lettering, which is really interesting. Look at caramba. Highly detailed Bart Simpson's head, putting the text, even they didn't write it right, putting the text, ay caramba. Break t-shirt vector. See, that's the style. T-shirt vector drawing, break trippy cartoon. That looks, yeah, it's Old Town Witch. Yeah, look at all these. And all these are just, yeah, I don't know, what else can we put? Oh, I wanted to put a hero, a warrior artist. I did kind of do one. Delete. Warrior. Oh, female warrior. That's what I had done before. Male, because I did a male one and a female warrior artist, warrior. Gosh. Oh yeah, wrong. Warrior artist with a pencil, and then you can actually do it different styles down here. See, it says down here photo. You can choose photo, poster, 3D render, typography. I can actually even write something. It says pencil spelled wrong. A pencil, there's a space. Generate. Let's see what comes up. And it comes up so quick, it's insane. There it is. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And that's it. I don't know if anybody wants to draw anything else tonight, or even something from here. These drawings, like, my gosh, this is look at, there it goes. Sketchbook warriors right here. With a pencil. They got that one. That's pretty insane. A double-sided pencil. Wow. It's pretty wild. I mean, the quality that I see on my screen is nothing compared to the quality that's here. It's not wild though. And then you can remix. Actually, if you like one of these, you can remix it. So there's a remix. It's that one, and then you can add more to it, or typography, cinematic. Let's do cinematic, illustration, and then generate it again. Then it does 3 different versions of it. But look at the other ones, and I mean, all the other ones can give you ideas. Look at that, it gives you 4 different versions of that remix, which is really cool. All right, so thank you, Anne-Francois. We shall see you next week, next Friday, next Thursday. Oh, look at that one. That's actually pretty cool. Wow, look at that. That's insane. Amazing. Yeah. Sketchbook warriors here. Pencil, 2 hands.
What?
Yeah, but you can, I mean, if you know Photoshop, I can easily get rid of that. That's not a problem. But yeah, it's insanely wild. And the pencil internet, or I don't know what that is. Maybe we can actually. That's not a bad idea. Having pencils or brushes like in there, it's a good idea. Or hair. Well, photographic. Yep. So this is ideogram. E-I-D-E. I don't know if you can see that. Ideogram. Let me see. It's I-D-E-O, IDEOGRAM.ai. I wonder if I can, oh, you'll probably see a better version if I share my screen and go to that. Let's see. Bam. All right, who's here? 4 people. That's it. This will be it. Thank you for joining us. I'm saying that to do that first though. Ideogram.ai. AI, and here it is. There it is. Ideogram, helping people become more creative. Sign up with Google. There it is. You sign up with Google. And there we are. Here I am. You can see what's really cool. You can see, yeah, look at this. Wow. Look at that. The Hulk. The face of the Hulk is covered by pixels in the style of dystopian cityscapes.
Oh,
That's insane.
that's cool.
Yeah. Look at this SpongeBob with 2 arms, 4 arms. Nino Aquino as SpongeBob cinematic. Wow, what's this? The Evil Dead Ash is back style.
That one's cool.
Yeah. Wow, this is definitely copyrighted. I mean, SpongeBob, Witch Old Town. Wow, look at that. Extreme close-up cyborg AI hybrid made of resin DNA growing with futuristic purpose. It's spooky season. Eat, sleep, dance, repeat. Oh, look at that cute cat. Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Oh,
Oh,
Look
that'd
at-
be a good one to draw.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, this is insane. Resist. I want to leave. Some really creative stuff. Fungalicious. Oh, oh. Leon.
That's funny.
Joseph Starlink. Create a photorealistic image in the style of Russian propaganda posters from the 1920s with Elon Musk as Joseph Stalin. Wow, look at that. Emotional cabbage. Really funny stuff. Oh, look at that. Minimalistic ink drawing style Batman poster. Steampunk 3D render.
Whoa, the background.
Yeah. Insane. John Wick is Angry Bird. Insane. Saucy dude. I mean, it depends on what, if you get creative with it, whatever you put in. Oh, this Spider-Man's cool. Shield. Yep. All right. Yes, thank you for joining us.
bye. Good night.
All right.
Thanks,
Bye.
Audio.